Let's go out, turn that shit up, man.
And now for our main event. ChiCitySports Keepin' It 100 starts now.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
And so the Bears are sending their compensatory fourth-round pick to Jacksonville for Nick Foles.
Just an open competition.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Chicago Bears swag. Full commit.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, claws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sack strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the upstairs. The tape never lies, the truth you see, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Angela.
Yes.
That's just
There he is. The hype. All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, TTNL fans? My name's Angelo Joe Marino.
What about Angelo?
What's up, 100 crew and TTNL fans? This is Angelo Joe Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut. I'm your hype man. And I'm going to be kicking it off with the mock draft. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this 2021 mock draft going. I want to thank the smartest man, Shane, for letting me do the first pick for the mock draft. With the 2021 mock nerd draft, I, Angelo Joe Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut, is going to pick yours truly, Cars, the TNL.
It's TTNL, damn it.
Nerd.
Trim my bushes.
Also like Donatello, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Stop it. I love you, Cars.
I use it on my bowl That gets you a long way.
Oh, Cars, you're such a nice man.
It's a dream scenario.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's going into my barn.
That's what she said.
Absolutely.
You're coming with me, buddy.
That's what she said.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Someone's getting laid tonight.
So,
Real quick. The defender is coming in his face. Pure bliss.
He's our nerd, Matt Carstensen.
Yo, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is ChiCitySports Keeping It 100. Well, the countdown to Pace fucking up another first rounder is on, but we got a great show. We got Cars going to come on as a GM, and he's going to show Pace what we got to do. So let's bring in the boys. We got a quick show tonight. There he is, Shane, Phil, and Cars. The man of the hour.
Up, the man?
The man with the plan.
Are we going to collaborate, guys? I want everyone to make sure we have our collaboration hats on. This is I'm fired up to really get this going today. You know, we've been collaborating for a long time for this moment.
Conviction.
We have a lot of conviction. We should have been convicted.
So if I'm Ted Phillips, Cars, you're going to need to turn your lights down because it's costing too much in energy costs. So we gotta cut it down. We got a quarterback to pay.
We've got a project cornerback from a Division III school that we really got to secure here. I think that's really more important. So we got to make that happen.
You are taking over control. The lambda, and the omega moves. The alpha and the omega move.
That's what I am. Just remember, 3 lambdas beat the shit out of alpha and omega any day of the week. That's how that works.
There you go.
So.
There you go. That's what I'm so proud to have you on tonight. We've been live all week, guys, coming at you here at TTNL, getting you ready for the NFL draft, or as Claudio eloquently put it, waiting till Pace fucks it up. How is everybody feeling? I'm checking in with you and you guys in the chat, all of you, 100 crew. I'm checking in with you all. Let's start with Cars. You know, you got the GM role tonight, but before you put on that, you know, or get that haircut from Lawrence Funk, how are you feeling in regards to your confidence in Ryan Pace and company?
Is terrified an acceptable word?
Yep.
Because
it is.
I mean, a couple of years ago, I was absolutely certain that we were going to sit there and take Solomon Thomas, the 3rd pick overall. You know, and I had the utmost confidence that that was what we were going to do. And now I feel weirdly apathetic. Like I'm excited for the draft. I love the draft. It's my everything. But I'm so conditioned to boo every pick and just not like the pick that I'm more nervous that we're gonna I joked about it, but I'm terrified that we're gonna just sit there and be like, best available player is a cornerback right here, and that's what we're going to do. And so yeah, that's where I am. I'm more nervous than I've probably been with any of our top 10 picks ever.
I totally co-sign what Cars is saying. Jay Glazer earlier tonight had a live video chat on Instagram, so I had some time to kill for once. So I jumped in and I said, fuck it, I'm going to throw a question up there and we'll see if he answers it. And I threw it in there and he picked it out and started answering it. And I'm like, oh, nice. So I said to him, I said, hey, are the Bears moving up? And moving up specifically for a quarterback. And he looked so stressed. It'd be like me saying to Cars, you pick one of your daughters that you like better and you tell me which one it is. He legitimately is like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So, but that doesn't surprise me at the same time because that is who the Chicago Bears are. They're cloak and dagger, and it's all about secrecy, and they think that they can get a one-up that way. And
it's been that way since Angelo. Remember, like Angelo, we used to joke he'd be walking around wearing every college team's banner and their hat and their flags, and that really did us well. It really did us well.
Yeah, I'm with you, Cars and Shane. I have the weirdest vibe when it comes to this politician.
We're on the wrong side of the relationship that's, been beat up for, I'm 44, so my entire life as a Bears fan. So you deep down inside, you don't want to believe that they're going to do the right thing because they never have. I want them to move up for quarterback. If they move up for Justin Fields, I'm going to be very happy. If they move up and they get Mac Jones, I'm going to be very happy. If they move up and they get Trey Lance, I'm going to be very happy. But this is the Chicago Bears, so tomorrow night, I fully expect them to sit at 20 and turn the card in, and the corner from Northwestern is our fucking pick. And I just like Cars said, and that's
like last year. We all knew it was going to be Komet deep down, and nothing against the player, right? But we knew it was going to be Komet, and we tried to convince ourselves otherwise. And I still think he's going to be a really good player. It was just a reach at the position at the point that you do it. That's their history. That's who they are.
Well, let's go back a little bit before we, go into the future with Michael J. Cars, you're right. I look back on the reality of what I saw with Leonard Floyd.
That's another prime example.
You're looking at potential. You're never looking at just the readiness and who they are for football. Like, we don't have time in the NFL to wait 4 years for you to finally figure it out. You have to be there ready now. And with Pace, there's always been this, and I know Shane was talking about we've seen a change with Roquan, but one out of four.
Yeah, but listen.
I'm talking first round pick.
Yeah.
Shane.
Oh, no. I get it. But I think that there has been a fundamental change. The reason we haven't seen enough of it is because this is the first round draft pick we've had since Roquan.
I get it. That curiosity, gives me fear. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
As it should. There's nothing that like, it's one thing when my kids always say they're scared, right? And it's something new and they don't understand it. And new is terrifying. This is old. This is, we've been through 74 of these Friday the 13th movies. We all know how this is going to end up at the end, right? And
that's actually a perfect.
It's just how it is. I wish I was with a franchise that would make me feel more confident, but I don't.
Daniel Jeremiah's final mock is airing on NFL Network right now, sponsored by DraftKings. Reach out to TTNL Network. We would love you to sponsor us also. And the Bears pick at number 20 is...
You already have it?
Cornerback, Greg Newsome II.
Oh, my God.
That is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Tooch, can you upload the graphic from last night's fight night because I tried to do it, but it's giving me some new. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, there's
this new HEIC. What kind of file is that?
It's your
high def.
Yeah, it's a setting on your iPhone.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the high.
Because it used to be just set it at JPEG. Yeah. Whatever someone sent you a text, I would drop it down. So Tooch, if you can upload that into the overlays on the top there. We never really, Tape Never Lies Network is live. Subscribe to the TTNL patron today. Shane, subscribe and be a member.
I know.
A member. Get your
some people delete their subscriptions and Some people stay with us and get the best coverage on the internet.
There you
Hey,
go.
it's nice to be on a network hasn't said any that doesn't sit there quietly for the 3 most important weeks leading up to the draft.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Pretty important.
Yes.
I'm here tonight, really excited about this, mock draft, the last one, the final mock. Tomorrow, we are going live. We are going live with the kind of draft coverage you expect. We're going to have plenty of guests. Obviously, Adam Rank. Let's just get this out of the way. Adam Rank, Steven Edwards, former Bear. Adam Rank of the NFL Network. Steven Johnson of Chi City Sports. Yours truly. Shane, the smartest man. The smartest man at TTNL. And BearsNerd Cars will be on reacting live, as well as Zach Pearson of Bear Report and David Kaplan of ESPN and NBC Sports Chicago. And we're going to have some other surprise guests on the show as well. So it's going to be all night covering the whole draft. We'll stay live the whole time, breaking it down. Now, if you're a patron, whatever guys we take, Shane, myself, Cars, my father on X's with the O's, Bearlissimo with us on Draft Mob, BearsNerd All Access show I'm trying to produce.
I don't know if anybody wants that. Like, if you guys want to watch some sci-fi with me,
there you go.
Maybe
we're going to
do
break
some Star
down
Wars trivia.
all of these draft picks, and as Shane says, sometimes his freaking favorite things are the undrafted guys. So we're going to break down all of that stuff. Obviously, bringing you the best coverage on the draft. When it comes to the Chicago Bears, I'm willing to compete with anybody. Just like last night, me and Shane, we had a competition. Competition breeds success. Fight night. Right. We did something that I used to do with my kids at the Boys and Girls Club. If you missed that show, it's on our YouTube page. I don't know why you haven't subscribed. Set the alarm clock there, ring the bell.
The alerts.
And check that out. That was a lot of fun. Shane and I went back and forth, 22 starters cars, 22 rounds. And we actually, 22 rounds. And we went back and forth, built our team. So check those out. Leave a comment. Which team did you think won fight night? Who gets the belt? Was it Shane or is it myself? Once again, we got the notice tonight, StreamYard. Did you get it again now?
Yeah, it just popped up.
I guess they're having issues with some groups on Facebook. So if you're watching this show or trying to on Keepin' It 100 fan page, there is a known issue in StreamYard. They're trying to fix it with Facebook. Go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. What does Michael Williams say? Smash that like button. Where is Mikey? I hope he's in the chat because he deserves a shout out. Always supporting the Factor One Bullets, Richard Gordon. Everybody's in the house tonight. Cherie. We got producers in the house. Claudio's back. He's been gone. What's up, Claudio?
What's up, man? I miss this.
We've missed you. We really have.
All missed you.
I know.
No, Phil hasn't.
Honestly,
Phil,
you guys are
missed
great.
him.
No, you like his replacement better.
I miss Angelo the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
There it is. The old shop. That was the old shop.
The old shop to the new. We're going to do a show from the new shop. Tomorrow, Claudio will be live right here, sitting next to
Get
me.
me a comfy chair. I got to get a comfy
in the
chair.
studio. We'll be watching.
You bought
the
a case of Coke Zero today.
I got Claudio's got to bring one with him to match because he just drinks them all.
It's just something about your Coke Zero, Phil. It just tastes better. I don't know.
I got the cherry Coke Zero. You have to search
vanilla.
for that.
The cherry vanilla Coke Zero.
No, I don't go that far.
Yeah,
but cherry is the best.
You drink that pinky extended? Is that the way?
Yeah, Claude's a pinky guy.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Bougie. I'm very bougie.
Greg was telling me how he's searching all over for what are those claws? White claws?
White claws.
Yeah.
Women love those, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife asks for those all the time.
Wait, the factor one does have a good point.
Yes, we're gonna get
Claudio,
into this. Go ahead.
If they draft a tackle and they get on and they specifically say that this is going to be a right tackle, you need to zoom in on Phil's face at that
I think
exact
he needs to film
moment.
this.
Yeah, I might.
I'm going to be live.
Well, yeah, he's going to be
No,
live.
but I want close-ups,
different
zoomed
angles.
in, yeah, like Zapruder-like films, right? Back
Those
into the
veins
left,
that
back
come
into
out
the
right
left.
here.
Yeah, we got to get
Right.
those.
It looks
We
like
gotta
a
get
flux capacitor on his forehead.
that one would be fun for me.
There's no axe in my. I just blank out.
Your studio's small, so I got to be, careful. You don't.
It's not as big as Shane's fucking.
That's what she said.
Giant.
Get ready to
Acevedo, Mark.
Oh, I will be fired up if, obviously, Daniel Jeremiah really did take that player. Who was on the board?
You're making me rewind?
That would be dope. Just to know if he really did what we did. If you didn't
All right,
see
let me
it,
back it
Shane-
up. I can give it to you live here right now because it's going across. Christian Darrisaw went 19. I'm going to give you the. So Mac Jones goes to the New England Patriots at number 15.
Oh my God.
Devontae Smith to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep. This is Daniel Jeremiah, not BearsNerd.
No, God.
Trevon Moehrig to the Vegas Raiders. Jalen Phillips to the Dolphins at 18. Darrisaw. Newsome to the Bears. Number 21, offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins.
Okay. So you didn't take best player available because if you're putting Newsome over Jenkins, then you have no
shocker.
fucking clue.
Najee Harris went to where? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah,
this is why I don't. That's so dumb.
It's
fucking
it's
a
the
corner
Detroit
over
Lions.
a tackle.
Well, it's the Detroit Lions, right? You trade your best corner, so you go draft one, right? Like that's NFL.
Yeah.
Green Bay
That's
Packers in round
my
one,
God.
number 29.
I just
take
yes.
center Landon Dickerson.
Well, they need to replace Lindsley, so that makes a whole
So
lot of sense.
I took Dickerson yesterday for the record. If you missed yesterday's show, go back, check
You
it
took
out.
all the injured guys.
Fight
for the record.
night, Shane and I, as well as we had a mock draft ourselves, Shane, real quick before we kick this off. And it was one of the most horrific scenarios you ever have seen. So, but Shane, as the GM, I was the coach, and I was, what was it, Shane? All the tackles were gone.
Yeah, we didn't disagree on where we went at all. We agreed. Listen, and this is the Chicago Bear way. This is the way that things.
This is a lesson for pace right here.
Tevin Jenkins ended up going 19 to Washington.
Redskins.
The kid didn't even want him. He said, I'm literally taking him because I know this is who the Bears will pick. That's why I'm taking him. So the best player clearly that was left on the board was Kwity Paye at number 20. And to make a situation worse when it plays out that way, you can't reach for an offensive lineman and pass up a better player, no matter if you agree or disagree with the position that he plays. Kwity Paye, say what you want, is a top 12,
he's my
13
number
talent.
9 ranked player in the entire draft.
That's what I'm saying. 12, I'll say, 12, 13. So I was right in that range with you, Phil. You can't bypass a guy like that just because you have Khalil Mack, because you have Robert Quinn.
Who are over 30.
Exactly.
Yep.
We had to take Kwity Paye because he was the best player available. I will answer this question in 1 second, but Shane was right. You know, I wanted Dylan Reduns. That was where I wanted to go as the coach. I know we have a huge hole at left tackle.
But technically, we still, in any draft like that, as the GM, I would say to you, I can make a move to get him. I can't make a move to get Kwity Paye.
And that's
You know what I mean?
That's why you did the right
that's
thing.
the poker game. You can't. Hey, if this happens tomorrow night, and I heard a little nugget tonight about a team that I bring up that I hate, but I will bring it up. I heard that Kwity Paye will not last past number 12 to Philadelphia because they look at him as Brandon Graham, who's been there for
2.0.
ever. And
He's better than Graham.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I'm
Totally
telling you.
agree. I think he could easily go to
Did
the
you
Giants.
see his
at number 11.
story?
Yeah.
Thank you, Berlissimo.
Yeah, he
for
did. He sent me
sharing
that too. Yep.
That's just, I had seen it before, but then I watched it again and I got emotional. I'll keep it 100. And I welled up and I fucking had some tears and emotion today. I had a terrible day today. This has been a shitty day.
Well,
today.
just wait till tomorrow night.
That's the
It can
good
only
thing.
go down from here.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying maybe this is,
Right.
I'm getting it out because usually I'm nervous and everything goes well leading up to the draft until the draft. Then I try to like look at things positively. I don't like to stay in that negative place.
Right.
So even when he took Leonard Floyd, I was trying to, okay, pass rusher. Okay, they have conviction on Mitch. I gave up my Watson. You know,
This is a good question here from Joel Anderson II. I lost internet. Not sure if my comment went through. Thoughts on the Broncos-Panthers trade and how it'll affect quarterback. Listen, people can like or dislike Benjamin Albright on Twitter. He puts a lot of stuff out there that is factual, and he's not putting bullshit out there. And he said before they even made the trade today, he said the closer we get to the draft, the less I think Denver is going quarterback. And you saw them make the trade today. To me,
a big trade, yeah.
To me, if you acquire Teddy Bridgewater, that would not. That's just. I'm saying if I'm the GM, it wouldn't prevent me from drafting a quarterback. But that's not the way that Denver is likely to think, according to Ben Albright. And to play off of that, Jay Glazer on that chat, the video chat that I was involved in tonight, he said that he fully expects there's going to be 2 quarterbacks tomorrow night that fall farther than anybody expects, because what is happening now, as you're getting down to go time, Atlanta is sitting there thinking that they're going to get a king's ransom for number 4, and everybody in the NFL knows, hey, you're not going to take a fucking quarterback anyway, so why am I going to give up the farm to get to you? You're going to take the tight end. So,
and they've got, sorry, Shane, but they've got cap problems too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
big ones.
Cap.
Yeah.
So, and there's all this belief that they may trade Julio, they may look to trade Matt Ryan. Those things are not happening. They do not have the cap to take that hit this year. They don't have the cap hit to take it next year. So
Right.
they're in a position where they either need a massive haul, to Shane's point, or they got to go draft someone that's going to make a big difference. And let's be real. Kyle Pitts is a hell of a difference maker. So
big time.
Let me go back to that question, Claudio. Good job. Would I be mad if they took Davis Mills if they traded back with the Saints? So I would not be mad at all because, listen, we broke Davis Mills down on our patron side, and everything I want to see in Davis Mills is the opposite. And I told Shane I'm trying to work on having some time to cut up some of these quarterbacks' tapes so people could see why I say Mac Jones, why is the opposite with Kellen Mond. And Shane had the perfect comp for Kellen Mond. It was a more athletic Jason Campbell it was like, I'm actually watching.
Tell me I'm wrong. I think it's
it's not even me, but that hurts. Like the accuracy of that, it hurts.
That was like, I'm cutting Kellen Mond, and thank you, patron Chris. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, he's throwing into double coverage, and he's so like fucking, what's the what's the term? Ah, God. The lady on the Jetsons, the robot. He's so mechanical, like a
Yes.
robot. And he's like this, and he's deciding on the check down. He's one and then check down.
He's
And then
athletic, but you don't see the fluidity. Like
you don't see.
We
You
talked about
don't.
Zach Wilson today. I'm not a fan, but with him, you're watching him play,
Rosie,
and
that was
then
it.
he just snaps the fucking wrist, and you're like, oh shit, there goes the fucking ball. You don't see that. Kellen Mond is, to me, when I see him, I always think of former Bears quarterback Jason Campbell.
He's
all ceiling, no floor.
It was it was like in my head, who does this guy remind me of? And then you said it on the phone. I'm like, holy shit, that was it. That's who I thought. Just checking it down. I don't understand what Chris Sims or anybody's seeing, but I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna work my tail off to try to get that.
Brady Quinn talked today, and he has Kellen Mond over Trey Lance.
No,
so I
This is like trying to get
Well, everyone's trying to be right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This happened with the Trubisky draft, right? Like a lot of people wanted to be right. The thing we always got to remember is that this is way more art than science, right? Like this is more like guesswork, how we put this together. Because if you look at the way, I've said this before, if you look at the way that like high school guys go, how many of the top number one high school prospects out of the quarterback position do anything in college, and how many of them that do something in college make it to the pros? That doesn't happen. I always use the example of Ron Powlus, which completely ages me, but he was supposed to be the quarterback of a generation, and that doesn't happen. Yeah. And so all these guys, it's projection game, and nobody can project these guys because college does a really bad job of preparing these guys for a modern NFL offense, right? They cut everything down. They can't do it. They don't work footwork. They don't do any of this stuff. And then they have to learn how to play the position day one when they set foot in a training camp.
Yeah, totally.
Going back, though, Mills, to me, mechanically, he's perfect. He's flawless.
His release to me is flawless.
Yes,
it is.
It's over and over. So I don't know anybody who knows the quarterback position who's critical of this. The only thing you got on this kid is his injury with his knee and the fact of that, the injury keeping him from many starts. That's your critique of him. I see it different, man. I always try to watch the tape every time, even if I have to, in years past, watch, television copy. You got to be able to watch it to see the mechanics and the footwork, because at the end of the day, footwork, delivery, decisions, all of that tracks to one direction, and that's success in the NFL.
Somebody in the chat said they're worried about Mac Jones' judgment. I don't know who. Somebody said
they're trying to say because he had the DUI
as a fucking freshman.
Well, this is the biggest hypocritical thing that a lot of people do. They drudge up dirt on players.
They look at this the day before, right? Like it's layered.
They did it with our. Yeah, this was the Tunsil quote right here, Claudio. The original Tunsil quote, right? Where is it, Claude? You got to be on producing.
I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
That tells me it was everybody's favorite Swanky. Well, if you're worried about his judgment, you should worry about the podcast that you watch, because you watch a lot of fucking podcasts that make stupid fucking judgment.
Yeah, anybody that wants to talk about bad judgment, go look at what you did at 19 years old. Look at what you did at 19 years old.
Think about the things you've done.
And all of us did it before social media existed. If social media existed when guys like Peyton Manning came out, can you imagine the shit that they would have found about him as Archie Manning's kid at that point in time? Like we've just got to stop with it. You got to put it on the field. That's what matters. And
the tape never lies, right? Cars, that's where it all goes back to. Cars will check off boxes for me. As I'm doing the tape, he'll be like, you know what, Phil? Mac Jones led all of college football in QBR rating. in the history of college football, Phil. Like the history. Yep. Guess what? He went undefeated. Well, he had talent around him. I've blown that narrative out of the fucking water.
Right.
Because Deshaun Watson had talent around him.
Alex,
speaking of Watson, somebody's got a question here.
Alex Sims put up a thing about
Yeah.
let's not look to Jason La Canfora for literally everything that he says. Look at the fucking opposite. I mean, I hope he's right. I hope he's right.
But I mean, Jason is known for keeping one eye on things, right? So I mean, that's always. Thank you. Good night, everybody. I'll see you later.
I'm keeping one.
I don't know. I mean, guys,
open.
Russell Webster's got this question. I mean,
Do you think Watson is still
no.
an option?
I don't understand how that's even a question.
It can't be, because you know what? With 22 women coming out,
I think it's like 42 now.
Is it?
It's
someone said
it's in such
crazy.
a he said she said. Like any team, his value is probably at an all-time low.
Yeah,
because of that, and there's no way Houston is going to move on. They're going to let this rebound and try to make it a year and see if he changes his mind.
Yeah, even if he's innocent, which that should be where he is right now.
Yeah,
you
but he's still
still
got no value
as a franchise, especially the collaboration crew. You can't take a risk fully putting your fucking eggs in one basket and saying, okay, we're going to take this on, and then it all crumbles. You can't do that at this point. So there's no chance, Janice. No chance at all, Janice, for that. I'll tell you that. It's sad because that was my guy. But that's where we are. Now you have the Pats trying to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. How much do you give that?
Tonight, yeah.
How much?
I could see it. It's a Pats type move. I mean, you're bringing in a guy that knows the system, that knows the inner workings of what they expect, what they want to go on in New England. Would I be shocked by it? No, because Bill Belichick always is a guy that's going to make a move like that, because he's going to get Jimmy Garoppolo for 9 cents on the dollar. You know what I mean?
Well,
in terms of, they're going to restructure the contract. They're going to get him for what? Probably they'll send them a fourth and get back Jimmy in a sixth type deal or something. I mean, Teddy went for a sixth rounder?
A sixth rounder. Yep.
That was a guy everybody forgets that Ryan Pace made a big push for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep.
And tried to sign him. But the thing that they did was, I think it was you and Shane pointing it out, Cars, not Claudio. Brian Pace said it's going to be a competition, Teddy, and we're going to pay you $60 million.
Yeah.
It's going to can we even say how dumb that is in and of itself? It's like if you decided Teddy was your guy, Nagy, and you got your GM telling him, well, we're going to sign you, but it's an open competition. That is just the state of this fucking franchise, man. They're so ignorantly stupid when it comes to football.
It's still 1960 to them.
I can't believe it, because you get this young guy from the Saints. You think that you're going to come in here and change some culture, and just do it on the paint a fucking quote on a wall isn't going to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Phil, tomorrow night, if for whatever reason we're sitting here, our coverage is blowing up, everybody's filled with anticipation, and you get up to number, just say whatever, Detroit is in the game of accumulating assets for future years to make some hay. Say they make a trade with Chicago. Chicago's on the clock at number 7.
Yes.
And they draft Justin Fields at number 7. Immediately, there's going to be people out there that don't agree with the move, but a majority of the fan base will instantly start believing in the Bears again. It'll give the Bears credibility nationally. A guy like Allen Robinson will be more motivated with a guy like Justin Fields. And it's literally the only move to me that they can make that will give them immediate legitimacy as an NFL football team. You can stand back at 20 and take an offensive tackle, and that's great, and do the slow play, do your thing, but it's all about quarterback. If you go into next season with Davis Mills and Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, who knows?
And Tyler Bray.
Yeah, and Tyler Bray, right? Because we need another camp arm. Listen, you made your.
Let me ask you this:
you made your big move up for Mitch.
Same
thing, dude.
Okay.
But it's
Mac
not going
Jones.
It's not giving. Yeah, all of it.
Okay, I just didn't. I was confused if you were just saying Justin Fields. Was
No. I'm throwing it out there as for instance. I will say this. I think to me, the players on the Bears, if you were to give them a truth serum, and I don't know any of them or very few of them personally, I will say.
Yeah, because you do know a few.
But I think if Justin Fields is a guy that I think everybody in Chicago on the roster would get inspired by and get excited about. I don't think that's true with Mac Jones. I'll be completely honest. I don't think everybody on the roster would get excited
I did the tape
about Mac Jones. No. I'm just saying it's not.
I think he has this kind of stigma attached to him. I'm serious.
Sure. But I think
he only won because.
I think it's the same with Trey Lance, though, too. I don't think that Trey Lance would move the meter with the players. I think he would. I don't think he'd move it as much as Justin Fields would. And I'm not saying that the players are. I'm not saying that the players are right. I just have that feeling that if Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear tomorrow night, I just feel that legitimacy meter within the locker room, I think it's going to be as high as you've seen it since 2018.
Let me say this then, to push a little bit back on you. I don't give a fuck about the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you say. I'm just telling you what I think. Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying. I want to push back. Cars, you've seen how many guests come on here from the media saying, well, they really like Coach Nagy in the locker room. He's never lost. Okay, I don't give a shit. I want the quarterback. Justin Fields, I see you asking me. You want to know? This is my rank. 1A, Lawrence. 1B, Mac Jones. No, quarterback number 3 is Justin Fields. Quarterback number 4, Trey Lance. Quarterback 5, Davis Mills. Quarterback 6 is Wilson. I don't trust Wilson at all. Why? Tape is why. So I want to get the best quarterback. If Mac Jones starts fucking falling because of some stigma attached to him,
if he gets past 3, he will.
You better fucking get up there and get him, because he is going to then be the fucking kryptonite to the narrative, because this fucking guy can play the game of football. There's no system guy. I saw someone, he's a system guy. I've destroyed that. Go over there, watch the tape. It's every fucking throw.
He is a system guy. He's a system that's going to fit perfectly into the NFL, and he'll win.
But I think you got to go back to the Waldman and Schofield, right? When they talk about Chef versus Baker, right? The best quarterback of all time is a Baker.
Yeah.
Best one of all time. And if that's what Mac Jones is, it doesn't necessarily mean, right, that he's going to be, Tom Brady. But I'm so tired of every time we have that conversation that people say that's what Kirk Cousins is, so he's going to be Kirk Cousins. Like, let's destroy the narrative. You hate a player, don't automatically assign that player to that.
Yeah.
Just because Mahomes is out of this world and can do all these things, and Zach Wilson has some of those traits, for whatever reason, we associate that and automatically that is Mahomes 2.0. I see that a lot with Kellen Mond, right? 2.0, because of some of the stuff they do off script.
Yeah.
But there are 2 portions to play in the NFL. You either need to be able to play within a system in a timing-based offense, or you need to be really good at, the ad-libbing and making things when things break down. The guys who are really good at timing in college struggle with the free plays. The guys who are really good at the free plays in college tend to struggle with kind of the timing. That was Mahomes' biggest flag, was like the plays were timing. He didn't have to make a whole lot in Texas Tech. So we always like, if you fall in love and everybody wants to find the next Mahomes, all of a sudden we overvalue these plays where it's like, this guy made this incredible throw, on the run and 4th down, but you missed the other 3 plays where he couldn't get into a throwing lane because of his size and missed time throwing the slant because he waited for him to get open, and that led to an incompletion, which then led to him having to make that saving play. So when you look at it, you like, for whatever reason, we fall in love with a guy, we give him the best comp, and then everybody else to denigrate them, right? We give them the worst comp possible.
Exactly.
Mac Jones
Really
is not
well
Kirk
said.
Cousins. He's not.
He is. I can't say this clearer. To Cars's point, my lifetime, I had my father on the show. After he watched my cut-ups and my tape breakdown, he said, Philip, this is Tom Brady-like. You're 100% right. Look at the throwing mechanics, the accuracy, the timing. He doesn't need to scramble because you know what he does? He moves himself out of the pocket and scrambles with a fucking dart on a dime. That's what the NFL is about. Guess what? It's never changed. It won't change. Yes. Let's look at Mahomes under a microscope, to Cars's point. He's got the best tight end in football, arguably. You could put
the fastest
Kittle,
wide receiving core.
He's got
in
the
the
fastest wide receiving core in the league with the most dynamic receiver in the league in Hill. And Hill, you watch tape, you see Hill open by 8 yards. So, of course, when you scramble out and you fucking have that kind of cannon, you're going to do that. It covers a lot of warts. That's the truth.
Yep.
So that's the perfect match for what they're trying to do. But guess what? They fucking lost the Super Bowl. He ran 495 yards, as Shane said. Yeah. There's a way to attack everybody. Guess what you can't attack? Somebody who's standing in there and delivering. Boom, boom. That is the undefensible. That gets you so fucking.
It's exactly what
as a defensive coordinator.
That's exactly what it comes down to. Everybody is down on Mac Jones for that reason only, because he's not Lamar Jackson like mobile and running. We just had a guy that could fucking get out of the pocket.
Exactly.
Everybody forget. Oh, we need to have a mobile guy that can win out of the pocket. We just had a guy that was doing that.
We had it. We had an athlete. In fact, if our coach was worth his weight in his title, offensive guru, he would have switched up and did things that Mitch could have done it. And
big plays are nice. They're good.
This would have happened differently. But the reality is, this is where we are. And I'm not comparing. I saw some.
I'm not
comparing Mahomes and Mac Jones. They're opposites. Are you fucking listening?
No.
Listen. Open your ears, Sparky.
He's
telling you.
Trying to be a jackass, obviously.
Okay. Well, I answered to the jackasses because we got to educate here. We also have to keep it 100. You think I'm going to sell on somebody that I think sucks just to do it? No, I don't do that. And when you win in the pocket, you win the down every time. Throw every blitz at me. I don't give 2 fucks because I'm going to find the open guy. And that's what happens.
If you have the timing, if you are good in the pocket and you have the timing, nothing else matters. Everything else is a bonus on top of that. Because Drew Brees has the mobility of no one.
Yeah.
No one. Your child learning to crawl has more mobility than Drew Brees. And that guy has made a lifetime of staying in the pocket, readjusting, creating throwing lanes, etc. There is no cookie cutter formula for a QB. Patrick Mahomes broke a mold. Let's just call it.
He's an alien. He's an alien.
He is a once in a lifetime. Aaron Rodgers sadly broke a mold. He was once in kind of like an every 15-year type of guy. That's great, and we fucked up and missed him. But guess what? Russell Wilson, all these other guys who are really good made all their plays in the pocket. If you can't do that, you can't play quarterback in the NFL, and that's the end of it.
That's the end of it, and that's really why you get it here. You're studying tape here. We're not going with PFF stats and scores and breakdowns and manipulations and narratives and trying to get paid by an agent to hype up his guy. We got a guy on this field. We got a man. No, we don't do that here. I don't fucking manipulate any story. Why did I change Justin Fields over Trey Lance? I answered that last week. I'll answer it again. After watching Dylan Redun's over and over and cutting all his tape, I started to get very nervous at things that I started to see in mechanics in regards to Trey Lance. As you're watching the offense, the Trey Sermon, and I'm watching Fields, and I say, you know what, I'm just going to start. I want to watch 4 more Fields games, and you see things that you like with more accuracy, with more anticipation. Then you ultimately say, listen, this person is here in his way to go, and this person's here. That's how you stack them and rank them. And I said, it's the first time in a long time that I can ever say that I moved a quarterback like that. It was Mahomes was another one that I moved up because I was like, you know what? Over and over and again, this guy's throwing fucking bombs and dimes. This guy's gonna be the boom or bust, as Shane said, and I'm betting on he's gonna fucking be able to do it, and he was.
Yeah,
but
I don't think there was no middle. There was no middle ground. No middle ground whatsoever with Mahomes, and I do see a lot of that with Trey Lance.
Yeah, he's an all-ceiling, no-floor guy, right? His throwing motion is the biggest concern, right? Those elongated throwing motions, as athletic as you are, they don't do well in the pro, right? Like we see it with Carson Wentz and his fumbles and his interceptions. You know, those are things that's going to take a year to shorten up and try to compact a little bit. Those guys do tend to be a little bit more accurate on deep balls than the shorter ones for whatever reason, but they also turn the ball over and fumble quite a bit more because of it.
Here's one last thing before we get into this, because obviously we have 5 hours of coverage tomorrow night, and then we're going to be on again Friday night again, and then Saturday again. So we want to get into this mock. Obviously,
yes,
we've gotten a lot of talk in regards to this quarterback position because we all believe it's the quarterback. But I'll say this. Listen, your goal in this is to get someone that's going to take the baton and become the starter. That is the goal here. Obviously, Mike Glennon didn't handle that baton pass. He could never. In fact, we all questioned, how could you sign this guy? And it was like a ruse, as Shane said. And I go, this is the dumbest ruse decision ever because Mike Glennon can't play. He's not a starter. Now you got a starter.
There was only one person in the history of breaking down quarterbacks that I ever heard defend Mike Glennon and say that he was a good quarterback, and that asshole's off Twitter. No, so
his network is gone.
Yeah,
there's no more.
I wonder who that could be. I'll have to do a little research.
His name is Michael Bresnahan.
There you go.
All right. I'll have to look him up.
Remember, we had a debate. He debated me on the air. He versus me over Mike Glennon. And that's a true story. As I destroyed Mike Glennon, and Mike Glennon basically destroyed himself. So, again, I believe in my eyes the millisecond that he was trying to sell.
Just a
millisecond late. Everybody's yelling at Tom Brady, but Mike Glennon is just a millisecond. Just bringing that back. But the reality is I would not defend Mac Jones if I thought he was that way, and neither would these guys. And we would be fucking debating like crazy. Anyway.
It's very rare that we agree on anything.
Very rare air. So maybe I had a shitty day today. Tomorrow we'll have a great day. Mac Jones will fall. We'll get him. And I'll be doing a dance right here next to Claudio drinking Coke Zeros.
You're going to say doing Coke. I'm like, all right.
No.
Party.
No.
But
if you're doing that, give me a call and we'll just do that.
It's ridiculous, the hate.
Before we get to the mock draft, we got to bring up our other guy in the green room for his spot.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Does he have an intro yet?
Not yet. Not
Why
yet.
am I terrified about
What can we
this?
give him as an intro? Oh, this.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes.
There it is. He's got hype coming out of his ass.
Intro ever for our friend. He's more than a friend. He is part of us now.
Yes.
John Santucci, Tooch, Mr. Retoucher, and he's on mute. So I'm going to keep talking while he hits his button.
I clicked it. It was a double click.
We got a guy, the double discount double click right here.
The best Bears fan show ever. And now I'm on it.
Look at that.
That's right.
Thank you.
And Phil almost forgot about your segment. So see.
I did. I thought we were doing it after, but that's cool.
Anytime. I'm here.
So
We'll just edit this out and post.
Tooch,
It'll be fine.
Let's kick it off here, and you tell us what you're going to bring us tonight.
I am going to talk about some.
Welcome to the show.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. That's all I gotta say. It wasn't me.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen that.
I guess he doesn't watch the show.
It's an initiation.
I always defer to watching Claudio when I know that's coming because he always has the same reaction. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Pitched in.
It wasn't me. If I'm in the corner, it wasn't me.
I came by to talk a little NFL draft prop betting.
Ooh.
I love this part of the year. You know, this is Christmas Eve. I'm surprised Shane forgot to tell us it was Christmas Eve.
Oh,
show's not tomorrow.
This is the best time of year. This is, an NFL
football.
draft.
If you're a Bears fan, sometimes it's that like, is your stepdad gonna show up or your dad with a gift type of night? The draft.
Greg Bragg said no.
The NFL draft, it's a sporting event without really any sport, but the Vegas finds a way to get in on it.
Yes, they do.
They
Tonight,
will.
We're gonna get some prop bets. You guys in the chat, Tooch is gonna bring some prop bets to you. Tooch.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring some prop bets, and this year, a lot of states, January 1st. Mobile sports gambling became legal, like in Iowa here for the first time. So I was able to bet on the Super Bowl. And if you're giving me points with Tom Brady, I'm going to take the points. And that started off a little run. Then I went into college basketball and ended up with playing Baylor on the money line, watching all those 3-pointers drop. And now I'm in the NBA right now, and that's no bets allowed. With the NBA because you don't know who's playing, between everything. So the NFL prop bets coming up, right now, and I'm going to put the overlay up if that's all right with you guys.
Absolutely.
For the
part
fans.
Producer, part host and analyst, right?
Right. So today we saw some new line movement. Mac Jones over under opened up at 8.5. So where his draft position over under 8.5 is now at 3.5. So thinking he's going a lot earlier.
Wow.
Oh, that's what they're saying. They're saying,
yeah.
Explain this to me because I don't get it.
Right.
So they're saying the over under at 8.5 in the draft, like under 9.
It was bet down to 3.5. So
now it's down to 3.5.
So you're going to choose either over. If you think he's going to be drafted at 3, you choose the under.
Yep.
If you think he's going to be drafted after 3, you choose the over, which, you have a bigger field. So if you take but of course, San Francisco made that big move. So it's something to think about. And then the Jamar Chase odds on Chase being the first wide receiver taken overall opened at -130. Now -950, which is,
wow.
You wager $100, you're making $5. So,
Ooh, perfect.
Wow. Let's bet on that one.
Yeah.
So, and then Jalen Phillip odds for Phillips being the first defensive lineman taken open at plus 230, now plus 100. So that's just wager 100 to get 100.
Wow, Jalen Phillips being the first defensive lineman.
Right. So
Okay.
movement there as people think Phillips is going to be the first.
He's got all these issues off the field and concerns.
Scary.
That might be the bet you take.
Somebody sees the 40-yard time, right? And it's Mike Mamula all over again.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. All it takes.
Hey, real quick, Tooch, before you move on here, one thing that I did forget to share just in terms of talking about where these guys are going, Jay Glazer did say tonight when I was in that video chat that one of Horn and Surtain will be gone before number 10. So that's critical, I think. In terms tomorrow night. But you're going to get one of those guys going before Dallas at number 10. That's pretty big news to me.
That's going to make Dallas shit a brick a little bit.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Right. And then the props I'm looking at here for
Devonta Smith.
Devonta Smith over under 11.5. And I'm thinking the under because I don't think he'll get past the Giants.
I don't think they'll take him. I just can't see the
they're
Giants.
going to take Kwity Paye.
I do too. I think they're going defense, or if a guy like Slater is there,
Slater or Paye.
Mm-hmm.
They're going Big 10.
So you bet the over of him slipping past 11. And then Penny Sewell, this is his over under is 5.5. So is he going to be the fifth pick or over the fifth pick?
I'm starting to think he's fallen. I think
really.
I think so. Tooch, to piggyback off your next one, I think Chase is going to end up going 6 or going to Cincy.
Yep,
and I
agree
at 5.
Nerd alert!
I think that's an interesting one right there.
He's been lobbying the team hard for his former wide receiver at LSU.
And didn't they sign Riley Reef, I think, to play right tackle? I think Cincinnati did, so they might convince themselves that they're set. So I could see that happening.
And tackle's kind of a strong position in this draft. There's good second round value as well.
Yes,
they could invest in. And then Jalen Waddle over under 11.5. Jalen Waddle's kind of like that. He's kind of like the next Tyreek Hill, kind of the same jumpy, fast, smaller player. So
he's my number one receiver in the draft.
There you go.
Jalen Waddle.
And Justin Fields over under 8.5 right now.
I think he's over.
You're going after. You're thinking he's falling past 8. That's what that means. Correct?
Falling past 8.
Yeah, if the Bears don't trade up to Carolina, I think he's going to fall a bit.
This kid, Justin Fields, running a 4.42 40 can't outrace the stigma of Ohio State quarterbacks.
Well, he's got two issues for him: the color of his skin and where he played football for college. Right?
To me, this kid's a tremendous quarterback. I mean, if the Bears got him, I mean, you see me doing a dance, Phil.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Get you on the record.
We need to record that, Tooch. We will give you a 15-minute spot if you do that and record it.
Exactly, Tooch.
Playoffs? Don't talk.
Angelo Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
Can't wait to meet Angelo.
Oh Lord, yes, you can.
You and every PTNL fan. Angelo's getting a big fan following.
This next one, the quarterbacks drafted in the first round, over under. Vegas has got a good sharp line on this one with 5.5. So you're thinking the top 5 quarterbacks, which everybody knows, and then does that 6th quarterback slip into the back of the first round, whether it's Mills or someone
absolutely.
I think
fart totally taking Kellen Mond.
Yeah, I'm
going over on that.
I'm going over on that one too.
So
what about this medical condition, Cars? Is that why you think Fields falls too?
I don't.
Epilepsy.
I don't think it is. Look, the NFL's never gotten over certain stigmas, right?
Yep.
And for whatever reason, Justin Fields is hitting it because you see these uninformed things. They don't hide it as well, right? Like he can't get through his reads and progressions. Yeah,
Right.
We've seen this. We know what it is, and so if Mac Jones and Justin Fields switched places, Justin Fields would be talked about more to San Francisco right now. If he was a white guy playing in Alabama, there would be no questions.
It makes some people feel uncomfortable, but for me, living in this football world, I know Cars is 100% right. There is.
You've said
bias,
it forever, yeah.
And I've said it forever on this show, so I'm glad.
Donovan McNabb. I mean, like it started with McNabb. He was such a good prospect when he came out, and everybody was like, "He can't read. He can't read. He can't read." Like, no, you're trying too hard to create a negative around someone. There are certain buzzwords you should always hear that go. Because spoiler alert, most of these guys can't read a defense properly coming into the pros because they never have to. So when you use that as a negative of one, let's just say one type of quarterback.
I knew a white quarterback from North Carolina that couldn't read a fucking defense.
I don't know who that could be. Is that the guy that's there right now? Yeah, he might have some problems.
So, hey, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I wanted you to talk more about it. Back to Tooch's prop bets.
Yep. Yeah, the offensive players drafted in the first round, you'd have to count them up over under 18.5. I'm leaning under. I think the draft that you guys did, with the fans. I mean, it was a while before a defensive player got picked.
Yeah.
So looking at that,
You're
which
looking
quarterback
at
will be?
You're looking at the over then. Right?
Yeah, the over.
More offensive players drafted. Yeah, me
exactly.
too.
I think that's true. I think there's going to be a heavy run on offense in the first round.
Yeah,
tackles, quarterbacks, receivers.
The receivers is going to be insane, especially at the end.
If Najee goes to Pittsburgh or Buffalo takes him, you add that running back in the first round too. Do you think there'll be more than one running back in the first round? Oh, sorry, Tooch. It's on.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. That's exactly what I was thinking about when you started talking about Najee Harris. I didn't put that prop bet up there. I'd have to find out what.
Wow,
that
but
is.
Etienne is listed as got some good odds at being the first.
Yeah, look at him.
Interesting.
The odds that Travis Etienne is the first running back drafted is plus 160, so that's not bad. $100, wins.
Audio's getting on that bet right now. Najee Harris. I have Najee rated over Travis, so there's a money play right there. Travis Etienne is the first.
I think Harris is going early. I think Etienne is at back, but I think
kind of like the North Carolina kid. That's the best. Might be the best one in the draft.
No.
Oh, you mean the guy that I took? You mean the guy that I took last night, Tooch? That guy?
He could end up being the top one. I mean, if Najee Harris goes somewhere like Pittsburgh, then there's
helps his story quite a bit.
Helps him.
We'll come back to that after year one. Running backs kind of define themselves. Najee, to me, is
you got to let Tooch speak on his capper, the last one there.
There he is.
Which quarterback will be taken first after Lawrence and Wilson? Trey Lance right now is a plus 195. Mac Jones at minus 305. So Vegas likes Mac Jones to go third overall.
Listen, Shanahan.
I said it was penned in, but I'm praying it's not.
Yeah,
I think it's done.
I do too.
I think it's a done deal.
I'll be surprised if he's not the pick at 3.
I'm going to be freaking nervous. Now, we have to have some rules for tomorrow, guys, because I am streaming the draft. So Shane or anybody having live feed with DirecTV, you guys are going to have it before us.
I'm spitting it out as soon as I get it.
I can't do what I did last year? Okay. I feel singled out. I'm triggered now.
Look at Cars last year. I still remember I'm in the same spot.
Oh, my God.
Cars is like, he did. He took the tight end, and I'm like, what did you just say?
Tight end.
George was ripping up his fucking greenhouse, and Throwing his garden gnomes.
They don't call it a garden in England. They call it a yard. I learned that. I'm like, yard?
I've been to Bearlissimo's backyard.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you sleep with him like Greg as well?
I did not.
Visiting weird places.
Did you use your lawnmower 3.0 too, out his backyard?
I went on a nice tour of Bearlissimo's hometown. It was very.
Did you
very
like
fun.
it?
Yes.
Speaking of Tooch's
His
backyard,
hometown is great.
If you aren't involved in shaving your areas for your ladies, for your men, for whatever, you need to. Trust me. Go to manscaped.com for 20% off. Plus, I keep forgetting, free shipping. Use promo code KI100. That's the Lawnmower 3.0, baby. And let me tell you something about this thing. I'm not only an advocate for it, I'm also a user. And I don't have to go to meetings for it because I absolutely love it. So get yours, put in that code, keeping it 100, get that 20% off. I know a lot of you have, because Manscaped is sponsoring our show all the way into July. Look at that. So let's see how this goes.
Even though I don't think we were supposed to announce that
Oh,
yet. Phil
let's
just
edit
did
that
it.
out. Let's edit that out.
We'll get that out.
No
in
one
post.
heard
It's
that.
fine.
They're
It's fine.
gonna back us up to the 2.0 now, Phil.
We have 2.0.
They're not gonna give us the good stuff.
Man, only if we had white out for audio. Well, call Aldo. He'll delete it. There we go.
I'm giving you a golf clap. I want you to right now. That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Hey, it's Christmas Eve here. The draft is going down tomorrow night. We're going to have a big show. If you're just tuning in right now, we have a lot of excitement this week. We already had the face-off fight night, Shane versus Phil, last night. You could watch that over on our YouTube channel. Tooch did a wonderful job producing that. Tonight, obviously, we got the BearsNerd mock drafts, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. He's warming up in his chair. Let me get.
I'm ready to stop, collaborate, and listen. That's what I'm ready to come through.
Did you put the batteries in your Trevalizer 3000?
Make sure you provide no people that are over 6'4" in height, or else they will be rejected instantly. Sorry, Rousseau. We can't draft you if you fall in the second round.
So, Tooch, did you have more real quick before we wrap
real
this
quick,
up?
Tooch.
Real quick.
We got a guy
Right.
by the name of Tooch.
Number of wide receivers in the first round. The over/under is 4.5. That's no over/under for number of offensive line picked in the first round, 6.5. And the odds on Mac Jones being the third overall pick is minus 160. So
that's a good thing. That
Vegas leaning towards Mac.
Happen. Okay.
Yeah. And then Travis Etienne, we talked about being the first running back drafted.
I'm taking that bet right there.
And then my favorite bet on the board.
Oh yeah,
the odds Bears fuck up their
Zoom
draft.
in on that one.
500 on that one.
Even
Logan.
money.
I'm in Logan Frost. Logan Frost wants 500 on that one.
Yep.
500 on Ryan Pace.
He's got excellent get off. He's got excellent get off. Any get off. So he times his get off.
Yeah, he times his get off like Tooch. It's time for Tooch to get the fuck off.
Jesus. Gamble safely. 1-800-GAMBLERS Anonymous. If you have a gambling problem, this is something I have to say for YouTube.
Tooch, your first real appearance in your first segment. Tooch's takes. Tooch's props.
I love it.
He's got to button
nice job, man.
He's got to button that fucking shirt up a little bit higher. We're gonna have to send him a 3.0. We'll have to send him a 3.0.
I like to buzz that chest before I head to the Iowa beaches.
Got that little fucking V-neck beard down there.
Shave a Chicago C. Shave a Chicago C right on your chest.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
What?
Unfortunately, Iowa doesn't allow wagering on the NFL draft for some reason. So I cannot. I'm dying. I want to lay some bets down on the draft, but
Connecticut doesn't let us wager anything
Right.
There it is. That's the sign. We're moving on.
Good stuff, Tooch.
Great
That was
stuff.
awesome.
Nice job, man.
Love you guys. Follow Tooch. Where could they follow you, Tooch? He is now
Search Tooch on Twitter _Santucci or John at Santucci _John.
How about you put it in your little
and you
bio
can find
there.
him at Tickle My Tooch on membersonly.com.
Find me driving through Des Moines, Iowa.
That is OnlyFans.
Give me a shout.
Well, give them a shout. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Don't bet on what I'm telling you. Always follow Tooch. Great stuff from the Tooch man. Even Alex Acevedo.
Yeah.
You're the man, Tooch.
Edwin Lopez in the
Edwin.
chat. Cars and I got some swag.
I got some swag today from Edwin.
Me too. Thank you, Edwin.
I'm going to be wearing that over the weekend, Edwin. Saturday.
Mine shows up tomorrow. Thank you, Edwin. And Loki, I saw you earlier. Good to see you too. But I don't have a way to chat with you fancy Facebook folks. So
absolutely. I love the 100 crew. I'm getting pictures of people putting their names on the back of their t-shirts. We got new Keeping It 100 swag, as you could see in the right-hand corner right there. That Keeping It 100 logo that we're kind of turning to. Got to shout out Alex Acevedo and company for switching it up. And I got a lot of exciting news moving forward. But right now, let's get into this draft. Shane Marsaw is going to be handling the mock draft from Draft Network, right?
Yes, sir.
Our friends over at Draft Network are going to use their what do you call it? Their advanced artificial intelligence, and they're going to go up against our nerd here.
It's very artificial.
Is it?
Some of the rankings, yeah. It's
So we've done this several times on our patron side with Shane and I being coach and GM. Tonight, I'm going to be the coach. Shane's going to be the college scouting director / controller of the draft.
Like Ryan Pace did 4 years ago, I am locking Phil out of this room. So if you can just head on out, we'll take care of it from here. I don't want you running off and reporting anything to Barlissimo that he could put on Twitter before we make this move happen. All right. So, sorry.
We need to keep socially distanced, Phil. So we need you behind the door.
10 guys.
Yeah. Behind the door and with this ball gag, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
All right. So before we jump in here, Mr. GM, what are your thoughts about what area that you or what are you thinking about? Are you strictly staying at 20? Or are you moving on up like George Jefferson, I think you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, we're definitely moving on up like George and Wheezy. I think, look, I'm going to wear this hat like I think the Bears are going to wear this hat, right? I have what I would like to do, but I think once you start getting into that Carolina area, I think there's a move to be made to get up there.
All right, so we're going to run through the first three here real quick.
First 3 picks real quick.
Yep, and then I will pause it. And we'll see what unfolds.
If you're looking for swag.
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
I don't know where that came from.
What a reach. What a reach there.
Shockingly enough, Jason Luckenfor called this one months ago, and he was fucking spot on.
Brilliant.
Whoa.
Panay Sewell.
Let's start this
Are
over.
you kidding me?
That's bullshit. No,
I'm
not.
Listen,
I'm not accepting that. That's
while he does that, I do want to say
craziness.
I am the most terrified over
That's the first
Zach
time
Wilson.
I've ever seen that ever.
Yeah, but I am terrified of Zach Wilson. I think the worst place for him to end up in this draft is New York. So that is the ultimate combo of just god awful.
There we go. Now we're back on cue. Jesus Christ.
It up. A terrible artificial
Yeah,
intelligence.
I know it's
and then it went right to
exactly.
it.
Come on, it's
You
just,
set it right up.
yeah. I mean, at this point, you have to have that shit locked up. It's no way.
Hey,
No way in hell.
I'll tell you what, you'll see me keeping it 100 that night going crazy if that happens. Holy shit.
I mean, look, it would be a better pick than Zach Wilson.
I agree, but it's not
100.
happening.
Oh God, the Jets are too dumb to make.
Well,
the right
they
move.
don't have a quarterback. Who do they have?
You know who would have made that pick? Nate from the Chi City fucking mock
I'm
draft
just gonna
last night.
take this guy.
Oh, you want him? I'm gonna take him. He's not gonna fit my roster.
Oh, they have the former Raven is at the Jets still. What's his name? Flacco, right?
Yeah.
Flacco is still there.
No, Flacco's in Philly.
He's went to Philly. Yeah.
That's right. I don't even know anymore.
Jesus
you
Christ,
want
Cars, you're gonna get fired before you even make the pick. Not
Hey,
even
I'm
knowing.
just as plugged in as Ryan Pace. I want let's
right.
make that clear.
Let's see who goes number 3.
.net /
Look at there.
Trey Lance.
Wow. Right there on the bottom of the screen, scrolling, Claudio has your swag where you can get it. I saw a couple people asking right there. Just type in that address. I wish you could just click it on your screen. They don't offer that. Or reach out to Alex.
Smart. We don't want them shopping while we're on air and going away from us. So, But anyways, so Cars, are you interested at all in talking to Atlanta at number 4? Are you ready to stick to your guns and ride this out?
No, there's two guys I still like right here, right?
Yep.
In Jones and Fields quite a bit. I feel like what Atlanta's going to ask for is going to mortgage way too much into the future. So no, I would.
So where do you?
Not.
I will let you tell me where to run this to what number?
I think till 8. Till 8.
So pause it at 6 so you can make a move at 8 potentially.
Yes, let's do it.
The GM is calling his shots here. Panay Sewell going to the Falcons. I did not see that coming.
You have a tight end still on the board.
Jalen Waddle.
See, that one would shock me to go over
2 wide receivers right there.
Yeah.
And you wonder why the Bengals continue to lose. That's why.
So are you willing to talk to Detroit, or you want to let them go? And
as you guys know, I'm like Phil. I'm a big Mac Jones fan, but I feel like Jones and Fields both sitting there. I'm getting one or the other, minimally. So no, I don't. I feel again, Detroit is going to try to hold us hostage since we're in the same division.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
So where do you want me to run this to?
Well, we're going to make a trade at 8. Like that's 100%. Where
he's moving on up.
All right, so you want to offer the trade right now?
This is a big. Are you gonna? You're making the move now before you see.
Absolutely.
You're cool with both of those quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Cars, the GM has kicked me out of the room.
All right, so obviously you're number 20 for number 8, and then you're gonna fill me in from here of what you want to offer.
I'm going to assume we're going to have to do probably the number 22 first round pick is going to have to be in there.
And I don't know they are all over that.
They like that alone.
And that's all I'm going to do then at that point.
Do you want to try to get a late round pick back in 2021, like maybe a 6th rounder? They're willing.
I mean, it doesn't hurt, but look, that's really pushing it. Like that would be something that Ryan Pace would do, right? Like, we're really amped up about the 7th round, 250 pick we got. Yeah.
We need to get those isolated guys. Conviction, collaboration from Pace, and
so
have them ready.
Mr. GM, are you ready for me to make this call and make this offer?
Absolutely.
So GM BearsNerd Cars is moving up. He's put his college scouting director, Shane Moneyman Marcel, on the phone. He's calling. The Panthers have accepted the trade. All of a sudden, Shane, Phil, Claudio in Connecticut, Wallingford, Connecticut's blowing up. Now You got another trade offer.
You have a
from
bunch
the
of
Patriots.
you have a bunch of trade offers. The Broncos.
They're pissed off because you traded up. Broncos, I
Do we
guess
know who
Draft
went?
Network didn't know that they got Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
But
Definitely not doing it with New England. I can guarantee you that much.
Let's see what New England's offering: a 1, a 3, and 2 4s.
A 1, a 3, and 2 4s this year?
Yes.
Holy shit.
The Eagles are offering a 1, a 3, and a 4 in 2022 for you to go from 8 to 12.
Who's going least back? Let's start with that.
Philly's the least back. My concern.
Well, no, Denver is.
Oh, Denver. Yeah, Denver
offered
pick.
you. They offered you a 4th to flip one.
I
spot.
would do that. So you guys, what would you think? But I would think, like, again, if there's two guys, I'm strong
have your
for.
guy.
But listen, did we see on here who Detroit took?
No, I did not.
So
that's the key. You can't trade out of this, Cars. Then you'd get.
Then no, I'm at this point.
Well,
no,
we can remember who these are. What trade offer are you most interested in, Carson?
The most interested one
Down
would be the Denver one, right?
Okay.
Just to pick up an additional 4th.
We're looking for a center or guard there in that 4th round.
Exactly, right? Like you're wanting to rebuild.
We can bounce out of this.
Yeah, let's get out of there. I think it's not worth the risk.
Detroit took Slater.
So you got both quarterbacks now. Do you want a chance? I'm calling you as the head coach. Get my guy, Mac Jones. That's who I want. That's who we're going to win with. Don't risk them coming up and taking Mac Jones. That's my feeling. But I'm in the other room now.
Yeah.
You guys kicked me out of there.
So this is where I struggle. I am a big Mac Jones fan, as we all are. I think if I were GM, that would be my pick. But if I put on
GM now.
Well, no, but if I put on what I think the Bears would do here, I would honestly think that it's Justin Fields is the guy that they'd be the most excited on. Shane, most likely for me, it'd be Mac Jones. Throw in the card and go, but
you're making the call. So I mean, I can
tonight. You are not.
I can
Pace. Do
me?
Yeah,
then I would do. Yeah, then I would do Mac Jones here.
So you don't want me to call Denver back and get that 4 and to go back one spot?
He's pushing you.
No,
I'm just asking.
No.
He could. And
what if I call Denver and I get them to offer you a 3rd?
If you give me a 3rd, I'm totally interested.
Can you call Denver and say, who are you looking to get?
Well, I think they're interested.
3rd. We want that 3rd.
Well, we can offer them a trade right now.
But I'm saying that's what I would ask you to do as the college director. Like, who are you moving up for? Because we want to be guaranteed our guy. Well, we're moving up for Mac Jones.
They will do. It looks like they'll do the 3rd.
Yeah. I mean, good shot for the 2nd.
Yeah.
I would listen again. This is all about capital, right? This is all about obtaining draft capital. For me, I know that Phil's got 1A, 1B. I am more than content with a 1B, or to me, it's a very close 1C in Justin Fields. If I can add a 3rd round, and that's a place where I can get an additional starter this year because I've given up my 1st for next. 10 times out of 10, I'm taking that pick. I'm taking that trade. So I would totally do for an additional 3rd round pick this year.
All right. As somebody that is not behind the door like Phil is, so I'm sitting next to you. What if I take out this 3 and we go to 2022 to see we can get a 2nd rounder in 2022?
I'd rather have the capital now, Shane. From the
well,
other
don't
room.
forget you're without a 1st rounder next year because of your trade up.
I think though there are going to be more rooms, more things. I think that we need the picks now. There's more of an immediate need because of where we are in cap problems.
Okay.
So
I'm just throwing it out there.
I think it makes sense, but I think 3 is the move.
We can try a 3rd and a 5th even
for one spot.
and
What is
throw.
it? What do they think we're trading with Ryan Pace here? I mean, what's going on?
They'll probably decline this, but if we throw them our last 6th rounder, they'll very likely give us a 3rd and a 5th to drop one spot.
I'll
do it all day, every day.
All right, here we go. Cars is decided. He's telling Tony Medlin, call him up. The
God.
Broncos now they're on the clock. They traded for.
You're getting
Who did
more
they get?
offers. All right, so we're not
trading anymore.
Right.
They took Mac Jones.
And I'm okay with that because A, that's never going to happen, but Justin Fields with additional picks, I'm more than content with. So for me,
you're running up to the clock now.
So you're taking Elijah Vera Tucker here, you said, Carson?
Yeah, no, I'm going Patrick Surtain because
the corner from Northwestern.
No, but I mean, look,
Zach Pearson said, "Do you want to take the corner out of Virginia Tech?"
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. No, I think. Listen, in that situation, I think
you see that Kyle Pitts is still on the board.
Yeah, that makes it really
freak show.
It's really difficult to pass, but yeah, that's
all right. So card is in. Mr.
Do you want to trade back to the Cowboys because they want that tight end? You portray that you're fucking on the phone with another team.
No, because I think we just go make the pick because I don't trust anybody else at this point. Like there's been a run. If you look at the difference between Jones and Davis, and the remaining guys, like there's a significant difference.
So I am writing what on the card to turn in, Cars?
Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Oh,
yes.
Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State is now a Chicago Bear. We picked up an extra 3rd round pick.
3rd and 5th.
And 5th this year
and
to
sent
build
them our
team.
6th. Yeah.
He did a great job playing the board. Lost my guy, Cars. The head coach is fired up. You took that risk. You gave away who I think might end up. No, I believe he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft. That's Mac Jones. We got Justin Fields. I love the player. Now, this is an exercise. This is the most realistic.
We're going to run this. Mr. GM, where would you like me to run this to?
Probably let's run it to about 2025, right? To get through a run and see what happens.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there just so everybody can see. Kyle Pitts, Michael Parsons, Surtain, J.C. Horn, Christian Darrisaw, and Devontae Smith. Actually, some interesting news about Darrisaw came out today from Ian Rappaport saying that he played with horrific, his words, groin injury that he probably shouldn't even have been playing with, but he wanted to be there for his teammates and struggled through it all year. And to me, that definitely showed up on tape.
Well, that is the concern because when my father and I were breaking down his tape, that was the thing that it showed very Leno-like. Clearly, to me, the best athlete at offensive tackle in the entire draft, including Sewell. But his effort is not there. Jim, we need a quarterback, Jim. It's since 70 year. I know you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, so, my boy,
Jimmy
AVT,
Larison checking in tonight.
Barrymore, Phillips, Davis, and Newsom went with our original pick.
There he is.
They weren't too wrong.
No. So you want me to run this to 25 cars?
I think so. Yeah, we haven't seen the run on some other positions that I was expecting. So yeah, I think that's
Tooch is manscaping. Here he comes.
There it is.
Tooch.
Right,
How you doing, Tooch?
So, Cars, in terms of positions that you're focused on coming up for round 2, I'm assuming you're looking hard and heavy at offensive line.
Offensive line and wide receiver. Those two are my key. Listen, as much as I know that corner's a need, if you're going to draft a young quarterback, you've got to build a line around him, and we have to add more weapons than what we've got. If you're going to do this, you can't half-ass do this. You got to do it the right way.
I need cool Kennedy type beats for this. That's what we should have done.
All right, so
play some B.
Did you see the offensive tackles that I brought
I
up?
did. Radins is a guy. Eichenberg is a guy. Radins is really, and even I know Phil Reduns, excuse me, and
I
Mayfield.
love Reduns.
Mayfield, like those three are key for me in that position. Walker Little for me is more a guy round 3, round 4 who's fallen a bit and could be picked up, but those are the three I'm looking for.
Tony Pauline reported today that Eichenberg is shooting up boards within the NFL. He didn't agree with it, but he also said that Jalen Mayfield is widely expected to be a 3rd-round draft pick.
Really?
Said it today. Yep.
Must be an attitude thing, a maturity thing.
Well, I mean, it's a Harbaugh thing, right? Like, that guy's someone that lambasts people to scouts all over the place. So,
Mr. GM, where would you like me to run this to? Are you interested in potentially trying to move up? Or are you willing to?
No, I think I'm very comfortable with the way the board has fallen so far. I don't have that much conviction on a player to move up, unless you guys would like to collaborate over that right now.
So, you want me to move this to the end of the 1st round and see what happens?
I think so. Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, Aziz Ajulari, one of my top 5 favorite players in this draft. Awa.
See, I like Terrace Marshall Jr. too. That's a nice pick, but it wasn't someone that I was dying to have.
He's got to stay healthy. That's
literally
the only thing that's holding him back.
Yeah.
But Caleb Farley going, I mean, hey, we'll get into this, and he scares me. Listen, 2 back surgeries, and you're not even in the league yet. Injuries aside, if he was healthy and didn't have these surgeries, he's probably the most talented cornerback in the entire draft, Caleb Farley. It's sad. It is what it is, but man, 2 of them, that's brutal.
Backs make me more nervous than shoulders, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's just
hell yeah.
Look at Leatherwood going 21 to the Colts.
Yeah.
Then you got
that would fit.
Yeah, that would fit
there.
That was, jeez.
So
Ballard builds lines.
Run this to what number, Mr. GM?
So let's see. We're picking at 52, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we got the Khalil Mack pick.
So I think we would look to run probably to about 40, 41 just to see what happens. It gives us about 7 picks, and there's 3 tackles a couple tackles I'm pretty happy with. So
Atlanta is offering you a trade up option for you. They are offering their 2nd rounder at 35 and their 3rd rounder at 68 for your 2nd at 52 and your 2 3rd rounders.
No one is playing the role of Ted Phillips except for Tooch.
You can yell at me then, right? Listen, here's the hard part, right? As much, I don't want to give up 2/3. I don't feel like there's enough of a drop off between 52 and here. I feel like the talent is pretty good. And I think once you start getting out of round 3, the talent drops off considerably. So
we're declining.
I would lean towards that. Anything that you would say to object,
let me
Mr.
see
Coach.
the offensive tackles that we
you
have
are
on the
getting
board.
back. You are getting back a 3.
But we're giving up 2. We're basically
right.
giving up 2 3s to move up in 2 rounds.
Right. Yep.
Let me see the offensive tackles that are on the board.
And there's only 3 picks between the 1st and the 2nd, so I don't know.
Right. So the offense.
Najee Harris did not go in the 1st round.
Well, we just lost our trade because I forgot to hit pause, but it's all good.
It's good.
So Cosme went 33, Harris, Freiermuth, Mayrig, Rondell Moore, and
so right now, Reduns is my number 1.
You could see another offensive tackle go right here.
Right here.
Cincinnati took Jamar Chase. I think they could be in the offensive line business pretty easily right here.
They're going to probably take, based on their board, Eichenberg is going to go here. I have Reduns over Eichenberg. But again, there's a run on offensive tackles now.
So Cars, you want me to? You're picking here. What do you want me to do?
Who's that? So we've got Eichenberg, Raduns. I would probably still kind of keep it moving a little bit. Let's pause to about 42.
All right. There's Eichenberg. Like I told you, he's going right off.
So Denver is back calling, and they are offering up number 40 and their 4th rounder for your 2nd and 3rd.
And we have 2/3, correct? Because we made that trade. So I would move up and get
I would as well. Yeah,
I would get Reduns right now.
All right, you can do a counter offer also.
No, I would I don't want to mess around with it.
I hope this doesn't screw up, because this is hopefully they don't just auto pick. Sometimes this network thing has. Yeah, so it did not. So Creed Humphrey won at 39, Phil.
So we're drafting the coach's boy right here. I think that's a bookend tackle for years to come.
You want to look at wide receivers too, just so you know.
No, because there's such a drop off at offensive tackle at him. I do like Brady, but not for a long time. So Dylan would be our pick here at number 40.
So let me just say, Reduns, before we pick him, is a technician. Obviously, he comes from a smaller conference, so people are going to put a little bias on him. But the reality is, when you watch the tape, you see a guy that's fundamentally sound, that checks that box, Shane.
Right.
Edgy, playing with a chip on his shoulder, finishing blocks, technician, and guess what? An athlete. So when you're trying to run that, the very first play we broke down was Dylan Reduns with my father doing the walrus technique and getting it done, actually. No pun intended. So Reduns here, to me, is somebody that comes in right away and fucking is going to protect that left side for Fields, and he's going to fist fight Charles Leno for that job.
So we are official writing it down.
Official.
Like this, Cars. Like this, Cars.
Right, so
what does Angelo think? Call him.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to run this to Cars. Would you agree to run this to our pick or former pick at 52?
I agree. Yes.
He's got great get off.
He's got excellent get off.
Sorry. Davis Mills. There he goes. Round 2. Mayfield.
Yep.
So Washington, the football team.
Christensen. Yeah. So I mean that to me, if anything, that certifies that we made the right move at that point, because that run at tackles was coming.
Yep.
Right. We usually see that early second round, right? Wide receiver runs and offensive tackle runs, end of round 1, beginning of round 2.
Remember that for tomorrow night,
right?
100 crew, as we watch the draft. Well, it'll be ending, so we'll be at round 2 on Friday night. So we'll be seeing how this plays out. Do the Bears go offensive tackle? Do they do the fucking Bear thing and take a corner to replace a top 3 corner that you let go out the back door because you're too busy talking about collaboration? Who knows? That's going to be what we're going to be talking about. Are they trading up like Cars did to solidify that quarterback position?
Cars has traded up twice in 2 rounds.
I have conviction in players, Shane. I've got a lot of conviction tonight.
I love the Reduns pick.
One more nugget here, just as we're looking at this board. At number 47, Peyton Turner, the edge from Houston. Is the guy Tony Pauline was talking about today, and he said that he is skyrocketing up boards within the NFL, and Gregory Rousseau is going the other way, and he thinks that Turner gets drafted much higher than Rousseau. Yes.
Yeah, they have not been kind to Rousseau because of the year off and the skinny frame.
Yep.
This could be a lot like Harold Landry a couple of years ago, where you get to around this point and you're like, how the hell is this guy sitting here?
So we have a pick. What are we at?
I missed that question, Claudio. What was it?
We have a pick at 71 cars.
Corner, and is there a corner you would be okay with taking? Yeah, I like this corner draft. One of them just went off the board right there, and Aaron Robinson. I think he's a nickel guy that could play outside.
You got
Asante Samuel Jr.
I love Asante.
He's one of my favorite players in this draft.
So we're at 52, and we have pick 71 coming up. So where would you like me to run this?
Samuel's going to go off the board very soon if you're trying to get him. But
yeah, well, I mean, he's so much different than the other guys behind him, right?
Yep.
I mean,
so
I like Elijah Molden's a very good football player, as is Tyson Campbell.
Stanford kid's a good corner.
Stanford kid is very underrated here. Adebo. Adebo is somebody that's a technician, plays the ball really well. A lot of times they get bunched in, and
got a guy like Spencer Brown who's still hanging out there too.
How about the wide receiver room?
What do we got? Amari Rogers, Nico Collins from Michigan. I'm a big fan of.
I know the Bears are big on Eskridge.
Eskridge is a football player. Let me tell you, explosive kid. I'm trying to see.
So as a guy that is in the war room, Cars, we have some stuff coming up, but I would give strong consideration to going to get somebody like Asante Samuel.
The college scouting director.
But it's your call. But I mean, you can gamble, but that is something that I would. You come away with Justin Fields for tons and Asante Samuel as your first 3 picks. I mean, we could call the massage parlor and rock it out with Deshaun Watson the rest of the night. So
maybe we can Deshaun Watson and the owner of the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
We can just chill out with those guys.
But this is your call here. Whatever you want to do, we will do.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to let it ride. Look, I think corner's extremely important.
Yep.
But I really feel like if you're going to make this move, you've got to rebuild the op. We've argued about this a little bit, or conversed about it. You got to start to flip the payroll from defense to offense, and
I agree.
so let's just hope that there's someone else there. I agree with the cornerback need, but I think when you go quarterback early, you gotta build that room around him.
Yeah, masseuses are expensive, so Ted's going to be happy. So let's roll this forward to. How far do you want me to roll this? We're at 52.
And where's our next one? Yeah, 60.
71.
Yeah, so I can let it go to
the Israel Adonijah of picks.
Ooh.
Jackson Cameron, Amari Rogers. There's the Steelers getting richer every time. It always happens.
Yeah. Who did the Steelers take in the first round?
Didn't they take Tevin
Jenkins and Asante? Yeah. That's a great 1-2 punch there.
I love Tevin Jenkins, but you got to get the quarterback.
Spencer Brown off the board.
Spence. We were 10.
Yeah, I can't. So if I look at it, the only way I see us doubling up on tackles is if we stayed at 20, right? And then you just go, we'll draft this for the next year. You know, it's tough. It's kind of funny. Now I'm usually super cocky and arrogant. Now that everybody's watching me and picking apart everything I do, I'm like, I don't know what to do. What do I do?
Are you surprised to see Etienne still on the board?
I'm absolutely like
Tooch has left the building.
Like if you look at the folks who are left, right, it would speak to your Rousseau kind of fallen. That's a bit of a shock. ATN, I think, is getting.
I thought Quinn Menierez right there, that offensive guard. Miners. Yeah. That kid is a fucking football player.
Absolutely, and I'm quite honest. Brevin Jordan is someone I expect to go higher than we think just because of his profile and the way he is. I think he's going to get a little bit of a bump. I'm not necessarily. Yeah. So
like I hear Milton I took last night in our draft, Phil. But
I like him.
What would you like me to do here, Mr. GM? You want me to run it?
Honestly, I'm okay. Like, let's run to our pick because I think.
Okay,
I think
he's dropping it down. Drop it like it's hot. Tooch.
Etienne to Buffalo.
Nick Bolton. Both of my picks
All right.
just went back to back.
So Jacksonville is offering. They want you to come up to 65 for a 6th rounder. I mean, those 6 could be pretty important in terms of building depth to me. And it's only 6 spots, but still,
I don't think I would do it either. Yeah. I'm with you. Again, with a roster that is older and expensive.
My boy Nico went.
Yeah. Javonte Williams gone.
Jabril Cox.
Linebacker
from LSU. Rousseau finally goes. Oh, Miners.
Miners, I don't know.
Miners. We were 2 away. Tommy Tremble.
Yep.
From Notre Dame went before us here.
This is where they switch up with. This is their player rankings. This is where the Draft Network has them ranked versus their predictive board about where they think they will go.
Big fan of McGrone.
I am. Love him. He's one of my favorite players in the draft.
Cameron McGrone. I love him too.
So is there a position that you'd like me to bring up, Cars?
There's 2, right? It's wide receiver or
corner. Amon St. Brown is there.
And that's, I mean, like, that's a name.
Dwayne
Eskridge and St. Brown are 2 names. Like, I'm a big Darden guy as well later on.
Jalen Darden. I think he could go here in the 3rd round. I think, obviously, in this mock, they have him lower ranked than we do. But
so is there another position you want me to look at, Cars?
Take a look at corner while we're here as well. So I know that Molden is still there.
Elijah is a player. Kid from Syracuse.
Adebo still available also.
Oh, Adebo's a good football player out of Stanford. And Campbell. So you got 3.
So I mean, you've got deep in the 2 places that we probably need it the most. If I'm looking at it, I'm probably still leaning towards wide receiver, but where would you guys put your order of importance right here on the roster?
I mean,
it's tough.
There's a lot of wide receivers that I like in this draft, but at the same time,
let me see the offensive lineman. What do we got?
Stone Forsyth.
See, Walker Little, someone I like later on, is kind of like a 4th round flyer type.
Let's see the interior offensive centers and guards here.
Josh Myers is another name. Yeah.
He's a good guy. Cleveland, Trey Smith out of Tennessee, underrated.
I know it's not a huge need, but boy, oh boy. I think Milton
Williams.
I don't think there's a chance in hell he's available at pick 71.
Milton
in the real draft.
He's a good fucking football player.
The size, wow. So I mean, this is deep. So if we look at needs, right? Wide receiver, corner is 1 and 2. I can't in the other positions. There are some probably better players, but
Richie Grant's a baller too.
Oh yeah. Same
Where's he
with
going to see
boy,
the field?
Yeah,
Hufunga.
Yep.
Right there. That's a football player right there. I want football players, Cars.
I know, but I want guys especially in round 3 that I think have a chance of starting, right? And so at least for a year, if you look at these safeties and some of these interior guys right there, it's not going to be a go, right? These are purely depth. If we want to be a modern NFL, there are things we need to do with the line and the wide receiver. Corner, you can make a very big push for because, I mean, it's Jalen Johnson and who at that point, right? So,
so if you're picking, I mean, my best corner there is Molden, and he is their best corner, I think.
Yeah, on their predictive board, this is their rankings of who Draft
overall.
Network has
Yeah.
ranked overall
Okay.
left. I mean, Melifonu's a traits guy for sure.
I could say this, Cars, to push back a little bit. I think Hufanga comes in and becomes the starting strong safety of this football team. As the coach of this team, I think he is a better football player than Deion Bush. Gibson, I love, but Gibson's older, and how is he going to play towards competition? I love the kid from. He's a football player. He's gonna come in here. He's the opposite of what the Bears have done. He is the Mike Brown type that comes on this football team. So in my heart of hearts, I am not gonna make it easier for it.
Can you hear him through the door, Cars? Or
it's a lot of mumbling. No, but look,
I like the corner and Hufanga here. The kid from Washington.
So someone brought up a good point, right? So Jalen Johnson goes down, right?
Yeah.
Because we drafted a guy who's got a history of shoulder issues. Who are we trotting out to be starting at corner? Is that going to be Duke Shelley,
Desmond Trufant? Yeah.
Desmond Trufant, and Kendall Vildor. I always forget that we did add Trufant. You know what?
You got Trufant, and you got the kid coming back finally. I really am excited to see how he does.
Are you going to give Justin Fields another weapon on the outside if you're going to be in the Anthony Miller?
I see. I like Darden later on too. So I'm going to make, since I ignored my coach on the quarterback position, I'm going to make him a happy man on the defense because that seems to be what he knows better than quarterback. And we're going to do Hufanga from USC.
There we go. We're getting a starting caliber type of football player here, guys. Obviously, the Draft Network has him ranked a certain way, but on tape, which it never lies, is a guy that can come in here and obviously play the game of football. And I think you get someone really, really dynamic when it comes to physicality and football awareness. That football awareness trait that is almost that uncoachable thing that you're not going to find on a stopwatch or anything. He just really is a good football player. So there you go. I'm excited.
And to your point, right? Like Hufanga puts you in a position where you finally got that box safety, right? That is good for nickel lineups.
Exactly.
Helps you protect against the run game when you're stretched out wide against 11, right? So there's some very good portion there. I think there's no such thing as too early for any type of player except for maybe run stuffing defensive tackle. But otherwise everything else is really in play.
Jeff Burton says now we have forever until our next pick, which it's not really true because we made a trade and we got back a 4th rounder. So we have a pick coming up at 114. So knowing that, Cars, you want me to let it ride all the way, or you
let it ride all the way? Yeah, I think. Listen, we've come out with 3 starters in this, or at least 3 potential starters already.
Yep.
Yeah, let's roll.
I'm really loving this exercise. I'm loving the fan interaction, and I'm loving the reality of where you're going with this football team. You're putting your mark on it. I know Ryan and Coach Nagy are giggling right now watching this, thinking they're going to outshine us tomorrow. I hope I hope you're right, guys. But I think you will learn a lesson here tonight in watching this go down and how this draft is really played. It's not supposed to be disappointing and depressing. It's supposed to be exciting, and you're building by drafting with a plan.
So
not conviction.
We're at pick 106, and you see
Oh, Kellen Mond. Oh, absolutely. We got to move up to Kellen Mond. No, sorry. Go on.
Hey,
Adam Hogue just
Adam
fell out of
Hogue,
his chair.
Adam Hogue, the number 20 pick.
25. He traded down 5 slots.
Okay, sorry.
So what are you?
I'm trying to get him on the show.
Pick coming up at 114. What are you?
I want to look
here?
at wide receiver.
Yeah, you got to look at speed, wide receiver, slot.
There's your boy.
Hopefully our
Darden.
guy's there.
Yeah.
Is he going to make it there?
I'm not necessarily against. Yeah, that's the guy I'm holding out hope for.
Make it there.
Are we running it to 114, or are you on the move here?
Let's let it run. Let's see it.
Oh, you're taking a chance with all in.
Other than wide receiver, is there another position group you're looking at?
Trey Sermon in there. Look at him.
So no, I think I would look at tackle because I think if Darden's not there, I'd like to see if Walker Little is still there. That's a guy.
No, he's gone. This is my guy, right?
Josh Ball.
Yep. He's a guy that I think is going to surprise a lot
Walker
of people. He's
Little's still there.
Got to
He's
keep his.
154.
There he is. Yep, my bad.
Josh Ball, actually, Chris sent me his tape, so I'm going to try to get to that.
Yep.
Yeah, Fahelko from Stanford. Is he still there too?
Yes.
That's a fucking receiver.
Thought he was. Maybe he's. Yeah, there
he's
he is.
there.
Right there.
That kid I love too. Anthony Schwartz, guys. This is one of the the fastest player in the draft. Obviously has a track background out of Auburn. Your thoughts on him, guys? Is he just a speed guy? Is he the next Johnny Lamb Jones Schwartz? Or is he somebody that
I've heard that name in a while.
That's a throwback.
So what are we doing here?
I think we're gonna rip this ride. Yeah, as much as I want to be aggressive and continually move up, I feel like this is when we start getting to round 4. My belief is this is kind of when you let the picks come to you.
Kellen Mond is a Cleveland Brown. Kyle Trask. Now, Chris Ballard is making a call. He sees someone that
they want your pick at 114 and your 5th rounder at 164, and they will give you their pick at 127, their pick at 165, and their pick at 248.
And we don't have a 7th round pick.
But you've also been offered this from San Francisco. Their 4th and 5th at 117 and 155 for your 4th and 5th at 114 and 164.
So here would be my fear with both of those guys. I'm really looking at Darden at this point. I think both of these guys, I think these guys, T.Y. Hilton's not getting any younger. All the wide receivers that San Francisco has drafted really haven't panned out for the most part. They're always looking at adding speed. I feel like if I would do this, I would put Darden as my boy. Once you get outside of the 1st round, that's the guy I love. And
you have the ability. You do have the ability to counter offer.
Tooch has a player here. Tooch, Manscaped. You like this guy?
Yeah, I mean, late round, 7th round.
You're talking later. All right. So we'll bring you back.
So we are declining these cars? Or
yes, I'm declining these because
He's got his guy. And I'm telling you, Trey Sermon went to. That's the perfect 1-2
That's a
back.
great place for them. Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
my God.
Kyle Trask to the Bengals. Jesus.
Yeah, Kyle Trask. He's a
It's almost as bad as us drafting a punter in round 3 last year for a mock draft.
So this is locked in.
Yeah, I think it's Jalen Darden.
There
100%.
you go.
Yeah.
Holy draft card. You're killing one fan besides Jeff Burton.
Josh Ball off the board.
There goes Joshy Ball. But
Run this up to 130.
We took a receiver, guys, that obviously I keep teasing you, but tomorrow night, the new open song produced by Cool Kennedy and myself. Well, he produced, I co-wrote, I'll say, and get you ready and fired up for our draft coverage, which is going to be tomorrow night. The whole draft live, covering it, breaking it down. Plenty of guests. Adam Rank will join us after the Bears pick. David Kaplan before, and then we have Steve Edwards coming on the show. We got Zach Pearson of Bear Report, and this guy who's picking right now. The GM is killing it tonight. He's doing a great job being the GM. This guy, BearsNerd.
We are at pick 131, and we pick again at 152. And
so what I'd like to, move like 5 picks at a time. My thing is I don't want to get too aggressive in the late rounds. The way I look at it is, again, once you start getting late round 4 into 5, you got to let the draft.
I got a guy that I want for us to draft. If I'm gonna call the GM and when our picks come up in the later rounds.
So I just move those 5. Are we going another 5, or are you?
Dan Moore out of A&M went, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got no concerns right now. So yeah, I would.
Here go the Patriots. Pat Johnson, kid from UCLA. I like
James
Pat
Hudson
Johnson.
makes sense at Dallas as well. So that's a nice. Yep, I'm moving forward 5 more.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any, like right now. There's a whole lot of names here that aren't terrifying me.
So Simi
Cooper
went to the Rams.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at him.
So you want to? We're at pick 152. You want me to take this up to 151?
Yeah, let's do that.
We got Walker
Philly.
Little.
Philly
Walker
always
Little just went right
One
in
pick
front of
before
us.
Yep.
That was our developmental tackle.
So
there.
Washington wants to come up to 152, and they're offering you 163 and their 7th rounder.
Next year, 7th rounder.
Yes, next year's.
No.
So do you want to counter or just straight decline?
No, because I think we stayed straight decline on that one.
We're just gonna take a guy.
Right.
So you're looking at now what corner, because we took a safety. You're looking at this is if you're just checking in, that those were our picks. Shane, put them back up. If you're just tuning in right now, Justin Fields, Cars traded up, actually, and then traded back 1 spot, picked up an extra 3rd and a 5th. Then we were able to get Dylan Reduns, who I absolutely love, here in the 2nd round, left tackle, by the way. Then we got
we're putting him at right tackle, just so we're clear.
Talia Anoa Hafunga, a Polynesian, Samoan baby. He's a football player. Let me tell you, he's one of those guys. Like every year, I go, "Who's my guy? Who's your guy that you just want to have?" He's like my guy that when he goes off the board and he's not a Bear, I'm gonna like curl up into a little ball for a minute and give a cry.
Darden is that guy for me. So
is he? So you got your guy. We didn't get Mac Jones. We traded up for Mac Jones. We took a risk. Denver then took Mac Jones. We took our guy, Justin Fields. Now we're here. Now we're late. What are we in the 5th round here? Now I'm looking at interior offensive linemen.
What's our GM? What's our GM?
Corner. Can you find me a nickel or some a high, athletic corner here?
I will throw this name out there, and I know you can probably get him later, but Marco Shakur Brown from Michigan State. I'm a big fan of. I think he's not a speed merchant, but he is a ball hawk. He takes the football away. I'm a big fan of Shakur Brown.
So then you'd have 2 kind of ball hawking players that you're adding to your secondary.
But what positions are you focused on here, Cars?
So I'm not as much looking at interior line, because if you look at last year with Hambright, and I think Simmons has the ability to move inside to guard as well. For me, it's you're looking at corners, you're looking at edges, and you're still looking at tackles. I still think if you could find another developmental guy there, I think those are the 3 key positions that we would look through.
Frank Darby's a good wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that he was still there.
He's a football player type. You know, those types of guys that get open and catch the football. I like Frank Darby. That's a good
We
football.
don't have use for those guys.
So what are you thinking here?
You know, you guys, this is when I start to I'm not as deep after probably midway through the round 5, so this is where I start to get a little weaker here.
Yeah.
So like Ryan Pace, except he's done after the 5th pick. I'm just done in the 5th round. Who would your recommendations be either at a corner position or probably an edge position?
Listen, Sean Wade is a guy that's got everything that you want in a corner, but I'm not sure if he can stay out of trouble. That's the big thing there.
He's got red flags.
Oh, he's got a bunch of them. Yeah, he's got more red than our.
Put up the
He's
corner.
got more. He's got more red than our new T-shirts, Phil. But yeah,
yeah, he's a name. I'm not a big guy on him at all. I think they're the red, to your point. Like
I'm a Shakur Brown guy all the way here in terms of the corners that are left. Not everybody likes him, but I am a fan of him. So if I'm in the cornerback market,
Rochelle is a small school kid, Central Arkansas. Yep. I was watching his tape a few days ago. That kid could play the game, but I'll defer to Shane. I obviously is our guy Tay Gowan.
They
took him, right? He's
not on there. No.
Yeah, he is. There he is. He's at 300 prospect.
Oh yeah, they have him. They have him way down on their.
I mean, Tay Gowan is somebody I believe.
Yeah.
Jared Perry reminded me.
What about? Are you interested? Are you interested at all in looking at inside linebackers?
I think you have to because
you screwed up the quit. You screwed up the quit Danny T thing, right? Like I understand everything that Danny T brings, but you traded up for a guy who was younger. So yeah, absolutely, you've got to look at the linebacker position.
So
my guy McGrone won a while ago. He's one of my favorite players in the entire draft. But
I love the kid. What's his name from Iowa? Nick Neiman is he's going to come in and be a special teams type of guy, though. He ain't coming in there, but good football player.
I think I would probably lean at this point, Shane, to the corner. And if Shakur is...
I would rather have Gowan than Shakur. I think Gowan is a goddamn football player.
Gowan, their predictive board, he's much higher. But
then screw it, draft Gowan.
I think Gowan is a second round pick. Obviously, he sat out. They put him back here. I don't know what they have.
185, and then obviously with Brown, you're talking. A little bit smaller.
180.
But this is
your pick, Shane. I'll let you.
No. What I'm saying is this is where you have to start playing. These games because you have a pick here at 152. You have another one at 164.
That's right.
In a realistic world, if you're taking a guy that's ranked higher according to that, you might be able to get both of these guys.
You're the college scouting,
but that's
director here.
I'm throwing options out there. This is
so let's do the overall highest rated guy. Let's look. Yep. This is total best player available type of thing, right?
Well, so Gowan would be higher on my board than what
I get you, but
just keeping it real.
Yep.
So if we're looking at
do you want the predictive board or their rankings?
The predictive, because I think we've seen that's more accurate.
Yeah, and I would throw this out there too. If you're talking about best player available, I think you have to bring up team speed a lot of the time too, because you have some guy to me, Phil brought it up. Darby isn't gonna blow anybody away, but this guy is like Hufanga. He's a fucking football player, and
exactly
the Bears don't have players like that. So that's a guy that I'd be very interested in also, but. throwing names
Just
out there.
confuse me, even more at this point, which I appreciate.
I think you go Gowan here. I
listen, the way that this is falling in a normal draft, absolutely. But I think at this point you go Shakur, who I think you can get, because I think Gowan will be there at a later point in time, just the way that this is going.
Right.
And so that's the way that I would probably
go back-to-back corners here.
I think maybe
not a bad idea, to be perfect.
So we're penciling this in.
Yes, sir.
Writing it in.
Yes, sir.
All right. So here
this is a football player now, Shakir Brown. So you got another. This is Shane's football player.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So you gotta. There goes Rochelle, and now you can.
You
double
notice
up now.
Derby didn't last too long after our pick there.
Yeah.
That was the risk.
Let me ask one question. Can you show the tackles real quick as well?
The what?
Offensive tackles.
Yep.
Any of these names do anything for you?
Alaric Jackson is a late round guy. I know George has been on him. I think he's being undersold quite a bit here. And you can't, like, when you're this late, you do want to look at schools because you know that this dude has been coached up right at Iowa. So that's a guy that I'm definitely
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa.
Coach, give us one Iowa.
I mean, at edge, none of these names do anything for me at this point.
Can you hear me, Tooch?
I can hear you.
Give me one Iowa.
Iowa player?
No, just the Iowa.
Oh.
I wanted you to say Iowa, Tooch.
Iowa.
There you go. The great state of Iowa. Tooch always would say it.
Hawkeye State.
There you go.
There it is.
The Cyclone fans get pissed off because of that?
It's a huge rivalry.
Obviously,
Huge
but I mean, do
rivalry.
they get pissed off?
Yeah.
Why do you keep cutting him out?
Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah,
Shane cut him out.
they don't like each
wasn't
other,
me.
the fans of either team.
Oh, okay.
Thank
you.
My boss is Iowa State, and I tell him, I love the Hawkeyes. It's like I like you a little bit less today.
Oh, okay.
So,
At
he
least
almost
you
didn't
told
hire
me.
me when he found out I was a Bears fan too.
That does get held against us quite a bit.
Are you interested in
Ian
bringing in
Book.
another young quarterback?
Ian Book.
Yeah, so the rest of this draft is going to be all Notre Dame, just so everybody's certain. No. I think, look, I'm looking at edge, I'm looking at tackle, I'm looking at corner. I think
you got to take Gowan here.
Schwartz is still out there
Schwartz
too.
is a speedster. If you want to take the top off, I don't know that he.
I think with Mooney and now Darden, right, we've got some of that. Cohen's coming back. Like I would need to be more wowed. I think
Goodwin has some serious.
That's right, and Goodwin as well. I forgot about that one. I think
Goodwin too.
I think you're doing Gowan right here all day.
Yeah.
I think you double up here.
This guy's an interesting name here too. Sample out of Tulane.
Yeah,
the edge. But
Cameron Sample is a football player.
Yeah, so I'm looking at whatever Phil's eating. I mean, I'm looking at Gowan here for the pick.
Tonight I have this protein ice cream. Protein ice cream at night.
That sounds terrible. Like why would you do that to ice cream? What has it ever done to you to do that?
Listen, I'm trying to lose that 15 pounds. I've lost 6. So I'm down to how many more?
9. And you're going to lose it by eating ice cream. That's crazy.
It's a protein shake ice cream.
So we are at 176.
We got Gowan, correct?
Yeah, we start flying off the board here. We have a pick at 204, 208, and I think that's it. No, 221.
Wow.
The last, because we had 228, but we traded it to Denver.
So my strategy here is I'm super hard. Like I don't care about trading up at these picks. I feel like these are all really depth picks. Like there would have to be a guy who's accused of murder that would have been a second round pick but fell, and we are pretty certain that the evidence was staged for me to get really excited about anyone this late in it. So let's like do 10 at a time so we could just run through and see any names that stand out. But that's how I would.
I think you can take another quarterback here.
I think quarterback's in play. You know,
I agree. Marco Wilson went off the board. He's a good corner too.
Schwartz just went.
Schwartz.
Yeah, like if you look, this is why I say that. Like you look at this, who knows what's going to happen, right? Like there's going to be players available. There's been no quarterbacks since we've talked about this.
Right.
There's your first one, and it's Brady White.
White. Wow. I guess Draft Network isn't high on. I know. Can I make the next pick?
This is an interesting.
Sure.
Traits guy here. Cars, are you a Illinois guy at all in college football?
Like most people that live in this state, I pay zero attention to University of Illinois football because they suck.
So Phil, I'm going to run this through because we pick it. I'll run it right up to 2-0. Phil or Cars, you agreeable to that? Run it right up to our pick?
I think so.
Are you going to let me make the selection here?
Well, he's got to let you in the door first.
Yeah, can I have a guy that I'd like to select.
Are they giving us a second round pick next year?
They want our second also.
Oh, no.
What?
Absolutely not. That's
they want
ridiculous.
I mean, we could counter and try to get there first, I guess.
It's worked for us in the past.
No. All right, we'll run it right up here. Okay. Actually, that Lenore is an interesting guy too. The corner from Oregon.
Yeah, he is. Lenore. I didn't know he was there. I got my guy. You ready?
Yes.
Plays in Michigan. Connecticut boy.
Excuse me.
Shocker.
Fullback. Ben Mason. Get a roster right now. This is goddamn superstar waiting to happen. Fullbacks go down. Ben Mason.
I'm not even seeing him on under running back.
There he is. 337.
There
You
he
just passed him over.
Oh, yep.
So this kid right here is he would make.
So we can wait till our 7th rounder for that. Dude.
No, just get him now. Just seal the deal. He's what are we in the 6th round? This kid is gonna be way higher than they have him, and I'm telling you, he alleviates.
You want another athlete?
Tyler Bray,
Tyler Coyle.
I mean, he alleviates. What's his name? PJ Holtz, Ben Mason,
JP Holtz. Get it right.
Ellinger.
I like Ellinger. I would take Ellinger. Come back with Mason the next pick. How about that?
So we got to listen to your GM because
Ben Mason though GM. I'm telling you, you want to fucking see someone block and get out into the flat, catch a football, turn up the field. This kid does everything. He's an athlete and he's an animal. So watch him run down on special teams.
Here's the thing. I like that. I like him in the 7th, to Shane's point, because nobody in the NFL these days really values that position than
he's more than just a fullback, but he plays that.
I know.
He's going to go. Don't play the numbers here. Just get the football player.
I would honestly at this point. So yeah, like I
like Ellinger here.
Yeah, I'm not big on the edge guys at this point. So yeah, Ellinger makes a lot of sense here. Double up like Washington did all those years ago. So I would do that.
I'm with you.
Right,
Coach and the GM are step for step collaborating.
All right, stop.
Now I take Ben Mason, GM. And
so
I get
now
rid
you're
of
back
all
outside. Now you're back outside the room.
Phil's working the Tony Medlin coat drive for the rest of the draft.
That's right.
Mark my words, Ben Mason will get a second deal in the NFL worth millions.
He could be another use check, right?
That's
Like
what
that-
that's exactly
what.
These two wide receivers that are left, I would be over the moon with in the 6th round.
Pajamas helps. I love that.
But where are we going here?
I think wide receiver is still a need position. I don't think that's a place that you can have too much depth. We've doubled up on corner. So, I mean, of the two, which one do you guys have?
Well, I want to hear Phil say
There
his
he
name.
is.
This
Josh
dude,
Imatabrabi.
he is explosive.
Claudio loves that.
Dude, my favorite guy in this draft right there.
Then we're doing it.
This is Claudio's pick.
Claudio's getting his man. No, listen, I think
I just love it because I want to hear you guys try to say his name.
Josh.
I'm a motorboat. No, that's not it.
I'm a Tobabe.
Yeah, and the other guy that I would be interested in here if we're talking wide receivers is I'm going down here to Florida State. Tamorian Terry, I think, is being undervalued in this draft by quite a bit. He is a guy that I like.
Claudio.
Yes, I concur.
Which one do you like more, Tamorian Terry, or I can't pronounce Amatoba?
Tamorian Terry. It sounds like a football player's name. Tamorian Terry.
Shane, you're the college scouting director.
Yeah.
This is where you are. I think Terry, I thought, was gone. So I'm with you in Tamorian Terry.
Yeah.
Not only just the name, but
he's nowhere near as explosive as the Illinois kid is, and I mean that's rare to get down here. But I mean, I think Tamorian Terry overall is a better wide receiver. Clearly, he doesn't have, the explosiveness.
So that's where I struggle, though, because normally at this point, right, traits, you're looking for traits more than anything.
Sure.
Right.
And this is a team that has really lacked in speed for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So
Terry.
That speed makes a big difference to me in the NFL, right? It is the great equalizer in all things. So if I look at that at that point, I would probably go with Josh first then at that point and see what happens at a later point.
So we're pulling
with Coach Dre. EJ is saying, hey, Terry is a deep threat. He's a Knowles fan, watches every game. Shane, if you had to choose between the two, where are you laying your card?
I think Terry is clearly the better wide receiver. I just don't think he's as explosive as to me, if you're coming down, put it this way. If I think there's a chance that Terry could start. I'm not sure. I think
so. Then you take Terry. Then
if that's where you're at. Yeah, if you think
you always want to choose start. I want guys that are going to start.
So Jeffrey Burton got the name Amatora Baby. Amator Baby.
Amator Baby. Oh,
all right, then do it with Tamorian Terry then. If he's got starter capabilities at that point, that's more important.
I think so, and I don't think it's
great pick, Cars.
There, Claudio is in the building.
I'm
hyped
up
keep
for
him
that pick.
awake.
Yes.
Tooch is in the house producing tonight. The chat room is still here, buzzing.
Yeah,
as we go through these. Now is where Phil gets his guy Cars. I'm back in the room. Give me Ben Mason or give me death.
I would say this. I'm going to throw a little monkey wrench in here because we still have a traits guy when you're talking this late.
Oh, I love Tyler Coyle, another Connecticut kid.
You want explosive guy to add to your secondary that's that's going to have a chance down the road, or hey, who knows? I think he's going to come in and be a dominator on special
Do we have
teams from
another
day
pick,
one.
or is this it?
I don't think so. I mean, we can always make a trade.
I need Ben Mason on my football team.
Is there any?
Sorry, we relocked the door.
Here, let's do this. We can offer Philadelphia.
Yep.
Oh, of course, Shane's favorite team.
They have a 24 and 225 for 221. They're not interested. So do you want to give them a future sixth round?
No, I don't want to do anything like I'm not giving. No, God, no.
Fuck the Eagles.
No, listen. At this point, like you're close enough. I think.
Yep.
I have to throw the coach a bone because I do feel like kind of fullback / H-back is a bigger need. We didn't get anything out of JP Holtz whatsoever. I think we had higher hopes for him than anything that he delivered.
Oh.
So I would do Ben Mason.
There we go. Thank you, GM.
So you want me to draft Chris Evans, you said, for Michigan, Carson?
Yes.
No.
Actually, he's underrated too.
He is. But Ben Mason is a fucking filthy animal, and Cars is as well tonight. The turn went to another level because the team that he was able to supply on draft night, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy could only dream of getting this. We are getting football players, as Jeff Burton is saying, and that's really Hufanga, Ben Mason, Justin Fields. Look at these guys that you just were able to gather.
And that's a
gangsters. What's up, guys?
This is the McLovin of drafts, right? Like overall, I think you've looked at something that we're trying to make. You're trying to make both a team deeper, more competitive, and younger.
My God.
I think we've succeeded there.
You succeeded. Obviously, we were there to hold your hand a little bit, but really,
I appreciate
ultimately,
it.
you took the lead here. I got to give you props. You moved up. You got your quarterback of the future. You also protected yourself and actually kept your fucking word and drafted another quarterback to develop, to understand the importance of having young developmental talent. You're giving your coach an opportunity to show us that he's a fucking teacher and not some fucking shoe salesman. You got a left tackle that plays with a fucking chip. He's an athlete, a technician. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. Then you got probably my favorite player in Hufanga, who's going to come in here and challenge to play and start and stick people. He's going to be fucking fan favorite, and he's going to go out there and play with pride that all Polynesian players come into the league and play with. Then you got Jalen Darden, a slot receiver that makes Tariq Cohen look dumb. This kid is an athlete. He's fucking speed, twitchy, hands. This is an awesome selection of players. Then Shane gets his corner, who again typifies football player. Then I get my boy Tay Gowan, who I believe is a second-round pick. 6'2", ran a 4.39, 41-inch vert, moving around. You know his story, living in a car, going to high school, living in a car with his mom. Takes the year off, earns a scholarship, takes the year off, has a child that's born premature in COVID, and decides to stay home with his daughter. Come on. Then you get Tamarian Terry, who I think is a fourth-round type of freaking receiver that Shane is right. It can end up starting because he has that confidence. He's big. And then my guy, This guy comes in and runs so fucking hard up Charles Leno's ass. Blocking.
He might not even be starting though. So at this point, Charles Leno. So that's anytime we could demote him, that's a big win for us.
I gotta give it to you guys tonight. It's been a crazy day for me to see this kind of draft play itself out. Cars, I tip. If I had a hat on, I'd tip it to you because you did a tremendous job.
Well, thank
Shane, you as well, working the draft machine.
I had the easy part.
Really great stuff tonight from Tooch. Look at him. He's looking over his bets. He's wondering what's
Welcome
going
aboard,
on.
Tooch. Welcome aboard. Exactly. I hit my first 3 bets tonight. My second 2 are winning. I look like I'm like 5-0 tonight.
Oh
the
my
Knicks
God.
-4, Yankees, Royals on the money line. And then I got the Jazz and Suns in the late NBA games. Which of course, I said I would never bet on the NBA, but those are 3 tasty games. I just looked at, and
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Tomorrow night, we will be live breaking down the draft like nobody else. Just watching tonight play itself out. 7 rounds. Our guy right there, over the shoulder. Not an over-the-shoulder boulder holder, Tooch. That's our guy, Cars, over the shoulder of Shane, the smartest man there. Drafting tonight. Tomorrow, he's going to be breaking down what this Stunod over there in the actual GM seat does. So we're all going to be there. Steve Edwards, Adam Rank of NFL Network, Steven Johnson, ChiCitySports, Roto Steve, Shane, Zach Pearson of Bear Report, and David Kaplan, and a lot of surprises to go with it. I'm sure you'll see Claudio sitting right next to me. He's going to be filming me and my reactions. Hopefully, Cars doesn't spoil it.
What are we gonna get to eat?
I won't spoil it this
protein
year.
ice cream.
Not protein ice cream. Probably.
I'm too nervous. Like I'm more nervous this year than I was last. I think we all knew deep down that it was going to be Cole Kmet. I think we all kind of knew in our heart of
Alex
hearts.
Acevedo called it last year.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet.
Yep.
Alex Acevedo.
Speaking of that,
yes.
I mean, if I'm going to root for a team, I want to give it all I got.
Next play. Pass. 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 Pass.
There was no rhyme or reason.
Drove down the field. Mr. Montgomery breaks a huge run. If he scores on the run, you don't got to worry. But you do got to worry because he gets tackled at the freaking 15.
There was no rhyme or
Next play. Shotgun.
The tape never lies.
Bold prediction. What's your prediction?
What's your prediction?
The old line is playing shitty. What's the skinny? No identity. If Nagy can't find it, Bears will keep it with the enemy. Red zone opportunity. Once again, they gotta settle for 3. The reality of coaching when the defense has to carry the team. Prediction. What you think would happen versus what does. A light year from the Super Bowl and now we're losing buzz. Nagy has no answers, just predictions that don't change. The segment is the truth. Give it by the guys and feeling shamed. What's your prediction? That bold prediction.
The tape never lies.
Bold
It never
prediction.
does.
What's your prediction?
I still spelled prediction wrong at that.
yeah,
that was lit. I haven't never heard that. That was good.
What? This guy isn't paying attention like Tooch.
all right, so let's.
We're still live.
Yeah,
Yes,
think
that's
so.
what, this is our prediction.
we said we were going to go
predicting.
no more than 90 minutes. Phil and I agreed
Exactly.
tonight. And we're at 11 o'clock now, but yeah. So, Tooch, you're going to kick us off here, and we don't want the squirrel ran by,
This
so
is
we
it,
lose
the
Tooch
last
for
segment.
7 minutes prediction.
Yeah.
We want
stay on Tooch task.
the Bears. You're gonna frame it like this: the Bears' first pick tomorrow.
B.
What position and player? Go ahead.
All right. Well, unlike cars, I've gotten past fear, and now it's inevitability that something will screw up, and it'll be a bad pick. So I'm gonna say they'll try to trade up, and I'd love if they could get Justin Fields, but I think they're gonna go offensive line tackle, offensive tackle.
At 20, you're not saying trading up for one.
Right. I think they'll try to trade up, but
Yeah, they'll stay at 20.
But stay at 20 and pick an offensive lineman.
What's your prediction? Who is it going to be?
Who do you think they're going to be, though?
That his name, offensive lineman? I've never
actually. I think it'll be Eichenberg, like last night. You know, when you guys did Eichenberg last night.
Eichenberg.
The other night, I like that pick.
All right.
So Tooch is in.
Tooch.
See you next week, Tooch. Claudio.
Yeah, all right.
Bold
I'll make it quick.
prediction.
Phil and Shane, you guys know I already talked. I like Trey Lance. I think we're going to move up 8th pick and take Lance. I like him.
It's Claudio.
I do. I got a feeling on this kid.
No hesitation on
No
Claudio.
hesitation. I want him. I like him.
I have a feeling these next two predictions, one from Cars and one from me, are going to be the same exact things. I don't know. I'm guessing, but I think we're going to agree. Go ahead, Cars.
So my bold prediction is that we're moving up for Justin Fields. I think he's been moving. Like, I love Mac Jones, but Justin Fields, the more I watch him, he is moving up more and more and more. That's why I was okay with him kind of, I feel like, I just feel like he's been sleeping on. So yeah, I feel like somewhere in around pick 8, we're moving up and we're getting Justin Fields.
There you go.
He did it.
Prediction.
He did it. That's where I was going. I wish I should have loaded up that picture of Matt Nagy at Justin Fields' second pro day with his.
Yeah, he was salivating.
You could see his mouth was open through his mask and his eyes were crossed and a little bit of drool coming out of the side. But I just I want it to be real. But like Tooch said, I mean, Tooch has brought a lot of facts there. It's the fucking Bears. And
yep.
When was the last time? Listen, is there going to be anybody on this panel that's upset if they move up for Trey Lance or Justin Fields? I'm going to be elated either way. Myself, I think Jones is going 3, and I would feel the same way if they moved up for Mac Jones. I'd be over the moon happy, excited, but I pray that they go quarterback, because to me there's no other way that they can move the meter to respectability, to reigniting this fan base. Because if your answer is Davis Mills and Andy Dalton, or Davis Mills and Kellen Mond, or Kyle Trask, Lord forbid. Oh God.
You just made me throw up a little.
Yeah, exactly. But my prediction is 7 or 8 Bears are on the move with the future first, and maybe, I'm not saying that it holds any value, but I could see Carolina or even Detroit wanting to throw in Anthony Miller as being part of the deal, because I think that they're going to move off of him. I know he's got essentially negative trade value, but
I think he's got reclaimable trade value.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, I think I could see him being included in a deal for the Carolina Panthers for sure.
Sure. Yep. So
yeah, he's like a draft day value trade because he's a name.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because these guys, he's going to come here. He's going to figure shit out, and it's not like he doesn't have talent. He's one of the most talented wide receivers the Bears have on the roster, but it's up here, and that seems to be where the Bears need to to be better when they're looking at players is finding out what's up here more so than what's on the fucking 40 time.
It's like how many future first round picks do we give away before we're mad at Ryan Pace since he's out the door giving away?
Listen,
the
if
next
they
3
if,
years
if,
of first round picks.
If they had to give away 2 future ones to get up to number 4, if that's what they had to do for the quarterback, I'm signing the fucking deal right now.
I'm okay with that. You gotta get the quarterback.
Nothing else matters. We've all said it,
Doesn't.
right?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. So if it's 2 first rounders, and I don't think it's going to be 3. I think the reason I like 8 is when you're that close, you're 12 picks instead of 15 picks.
Yep.
You start getting out of that 3 first round place, and if we could keep a second round pick this year and continue to do that, I think you just do it.
Real quick, before I give my bold prediction, everyone, and Shane and I were talking about this off the air, and he made this a point that everyone forgets when they're trading, you're getting a 1 in the trade. So you always forget that.
Yeah.
It happens all the time with fans. You're getting
if you trade 2
round pick, you're trading 2, but you're giving 1 to
you're
get
getting
up
1
there.
back, right?
You're still getting the pick. You're getting the 1. The 1 is the guy you're selecting. Don't forget that in that.
15, Kevin's got in there. 15 is a huge jump, but Kansas City went from 27 to 10 when they took Mahomes. So I always have to laugh, and it happens so often. They'll say, "Oh, you have a team like Chicago that's in the quarterback market, but they can't get up to the top 10." Well, but New England, they can go. They can get up in there.
Fault. It's
crazy.
when people want to shit on our franchise, and we've given them plenty of reasons to.
Absolutely.
That's the statement. Like you can make double jumps. We've seen teams do that before. Yeah. There are all sorts of ways. Yes, it costs capital. Could the Bears theoretically get to number 1? Absolutely. There's nothing that would prevent that to happen. They'd have to mortgage a shitload of picks to do it. But you step in the building, it's kind of like Steph Curry. You step in the building, everything's open, right? And you can hit it from anywhere. So
I thought you were going to say Damon Bailey, former Indiana Hoosier.
Oh, jeez.
That's stating myself.
My prediction. My bold prediction is against everybody on the panel. I'm going to be in Ryan Pace's shoes here, and I'm going to say the Chicago.
Yes.
Dude.
I don't know who did that.
You've only been on 1 show. You can't do that yet. That's like the 3rd show.
My bold prediction is
I don't even know where that is.
Take cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. with the 20th pick. They sit there and they take Asante. That's my worst fear that they're going to do.
And then they're trading up for Kellen Mond.
That's my
trading back into the first.
That's my bold prediction based on my history with this motherfucker, Ryan Pace, as a GM. I know he knows who I am, so I'm wondering if I ever see him, how he's going to respond to me, Shane. If we just see him, because he's going to do this, right? He's going to take a corner. He's going to sit there and he's going to avoid cars. He's not going to take a left tackle, and he's going to take a corner. So that's my bold prediction. I'm putting my favorite corner there. He'll probably take Newsome from Northwestern. Right?
I'll be so disappointed.
Right?
First and second round nightmare is got to be Newsome at 20 and Mond in the second round, right?
Oh
that's
typical Chicago. Yeah,
that's what I'm betting on. I want to be wrong, but I got to keep it 100 in regards to this show. Give you the bold prediction like we did. It is my nightmare. My nightmare happened when Shane told me that they have interest in Mike Glennon. I go, shut the fuck up. No, my boy works at ESPN and told me. I'm like, no way. Sure enough, that's what happened. So that's our bold prediction. What a show, though. Everybody had their prediction. We'll play this back tomorrow. We'll cut this so we can play it at the beginning of tomorrow's night show as we open the show, because I really loved your bold predictions, all of you guys, and I really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight.
Absolutely.
We only wanted to go 90. We went 2 hours and 48 minutes.
In true TTNL fashion.
So I'm not going to really have
the over
tonight.
I had the over in that bet.
Yes,
that's a good
easy money too.
I'm not going to shout out anybody because tomorrow night we got 5 hours and I'll do my shout outs then.
Holy shit.
We need to rest.
Thank you, Phil.
Yes, we need to rest. We've been doing this a lot. So Claude, don't even worry about the shout unless you guys want to have a shout out.
Nope.
One shout out. Anybody?
No, I had a couple actually. Just
okay, then you give your shout
You haven't
out.
talked at all show.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead,
let's let
Claudio.
him.
Let's isolate on you.
Isolate Claude.
All right, let me get some music going here.
All right. Oh, music you need too?
I need the music. I mean, it's a shout out music.
Real quick.
David Montgomery.
What was okay, I'm not even looking. All right. No, I got to shout out the Urbans. I mean, he's not on our team no more. Brett Urban and Kate Urban actually sent me signed gloves.
Look at that.
Signed gloves of Brett Urban. His hands are
nice.
fucking huge.
Nice.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
kind of cool. You know, so shout them out. Very
What?
cool. And, yeah. And I'm gonna shout out all the TTNL crew that helped out this week. You know, I really wish I could have been and helping out, but you know, shit going on. You know, life gets in the way. But you know, Sandlin, Jackal, Cherie, Tooch. All right, you guys did a great job.
Jackal with the baby.
Yeah. So, and then shout out to my daughters, especially my little one. You know, I love you. Very strong girl. I love you, and you know, things will be good. So, all right, that's it. That's all I got for you today.
All you got tonight.
That's it.
And then tomorrow we are going to be live, obviously, all weekend long and Saturday, breaking down the draft like nobody else. I appreciate you all joining in, and just remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Twitter account, follow us on Facebook. There is, if you're a big fan of Keeping It 100, there is a fan page. Although tonight you couldn't broadcast it there from StreamYard. They're having issues on Facebook side, but we do have that. If you want to interact more with Shane, Cars, Tooch, Claudio, and everybody on the network, go over to Keep It 100 fan page. Everything's really interactive there. We try to keep it 100 with you all the time. I love you guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Going to be a tough night to sleep because
Merry Christmas.
Yep. Have a great night. Enjoy the day. Let me play this.
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
The tape never lies.
Tape never lies.
The tape never lies.
Tape never lies.
The tape never lies.
Kicking on true.
Never does.
Yo, the tape never lies.
It never does, Cars.
Never
right?
does.
Never does. Anyway, that is it. I got to shout everybody out. Have a great night, Cars. A+ tonight.
Nice job.
Great job.
This has been a Chi City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.